And we'll get to more on the storm in just a minute. But first, we have this breaking news. A possible armed individual is at Loma Linda Hospital. That's what reports are. This is all coming within the past half hour or so. This is a live picture from the scene. Our photojournalist, Alex Vasquez, is on scene. Alex, what do we know about this right now?
Colleen, what we know is that a 911 call came in from the hospital itself, and it was stating that there was an armed suspect inside the waiting room of the Children's Hospital ER. So as you can see, there's a large police presence here, a large response from multiple agencies around the San Bernardino County. You have San Bernardino Police, Fontana Police, everybody responded, as well as SWAT team, as you can see here. They have responded. Now, what they're doing right now, I just spoke to a police source here on scene, and he tells me they're going room by room, floor by floor, and at this time, they have not located any type of suspect. They have nobody injured inside, other than that initial phone call that it was an armed suspect seen inside the hospital. So right now, police are going to go through room by room, evacuating the hospital. Most of the staff is actually outside here, as you can see. Most of the nurses and doctors have evacuated. Right now, police are just going slowly through each floor. And this is a relatively large hospital. It's approximately 8 stories tall. And I believe, if I remember correctly, there's about 250 rooms here. So this is going to be a lengthy process. But right now, there's no suspect in custody and no actual confirmed reports of somebody with this arm, being armed inside the hospital. But they are taking this, as you can see, very serious. And they're going to try to figure out exactly what happened here this evening.
You're absolutely right. This is a large university hospital. Alex, it's a teaching hospital known for its cancer care. And you say this is in the children's portion of the campus there. Are there any reports of shots being fired, or just that perhaps an individual was spotted with a gun?
Just that, Colleen, that somebody was spotted with a weapon. I did check with law enforcement when I got on scene, and the first thing they told me was, Alex, we don't have anybody injured, and we have not had any shots fired. So, but as you can tell right now here from this shot, I'm going to push in. SWAT team is dividing up into teams, and they're going to search this entire campus just to make sure that nobody's actually inside armed, or if they are barricaded or hiding. We should know shortly here as they go room by room.
All right, Alex, thank you. We're going to stay with the picture for just another moment here. Clearly, there's a lot of urgency here. As Alex pointed out, this is a large hospital, Loma Linda University Medical Center. This is the Children's Hospital, the children's portion on campus here. They're going room to room. This is 8 stories they have to check here, over 200 rooms. We will continue to keep an eye on the situation there and get back to...
Okay. What's going on, everybody? Couch Merlot in the building. Roger Wood, Bert, Calix Rose. Yeah, man, just a false alarm. They got a call. Nothing. It's a nothing burger. Nothing's happening, man. Just a nothing burger.
Another day, another protest, this one outside of a courthouse following the hearing involving Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbia University grad student that was detained there. I want to put up just this, a live picture of the skyline courtesy of our EarthCam partners, as Khalil will remain detained in Louisiana until at least next week following an initial court hearing in New York on Wednesday over the President Trump's administration's plan to deport him in his role in these on-campus protests against Israel. We're going to be joined right now by Fox 5's Arthur Chien on the ground there. Arthur, thank you so much for joining us. What are we hearing from the representatives for Khalil, but also protesters there in New York City?
Okay, let's get into that, and let's also talk about what happened here at the courthouse, because it's all within that context. A judge today started reviewing this case, and the main things he wants to determine right now is where Mr. Khalil should be. Should he be in the state of Louisiana, or should he be defending himself here in the state of New York, where these activities took place, including his arrest, and also which courtroom should hear his case. Now, federal prosecutors say this court is not the one to hear this case right now. It should be a court in the state of Louisiana because that's where he is right now. But Judge Furman, who put a hold on the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, said maybe that's not going to happen. He may be inclined to hold that case here in the Southern District of New York. Now, the lawyers, as you ask, for Mr. Khalil, what they say is that their client, the 30-year-old former Columbia graduate student, is being targeted by the Trump administration because of his views on Israel. They say that is unfair, that he should be released right away. They spoke as soon as they emerged from the courthouse. Have a listen to their argument.
In retaliation for that, he was moved to Louisiana to take him away from his lawyers, to take him away from accessing this court, to take him away from his family and his support network.
The government's position is that Mahmoud has views that are similar to Hamas, namely that Mahmoud believes in Palestinian human rights and the end to an ongoing genocide. And it is for that reason, as the White House and the Department of Homeland Security have said, that he has been arrested, detained, and potentially removed.
Important to note here that Mr. Khalil has not been charged with a crime and has no criminal record. He was first picked up on Saturday, arrested because his student visa was being revoked. It's not clear if the government knew that he was also a green card holder. It is much harder to deport a permanent resident of the United States, but that apparently is the bar that U.S. prosecutors will have to clear now. Now, government officials from the Trump administration say he should not have been here in the first place. They say the combination of his leadership role in the disruptive protests on the Columbia University campus last year, which is a private university, and his seemingly support for the Hamas organization shows that he went too far and should not be in this country. Listen in to what was said in Washington about this.
Who organized group protests that not only disrupted college campus classes and harassed Jewish American students and made them feel unsafe on their own college campus, but also distributed pro-Hamas propaganda, flyers with the logo of Hamas. That is what the behavior and activity that this individual engaged in. And I have those flyers on my desk. They were provided to me by the Department of Homeland Security. I thought about bringing them into this briefing room to share with all of you, but I didn't think it was worth the dig.
If that would have been Karine Jean-Pierre, she'd have been looking all through the book. She'd been so crazy watching somebody, whether you agree with what this lady said or not, man. She's 1,000 times better than that nappy-headed hoe, Jean-Pierre Croissant, whatever the fuck her name is. Press one.
Dignity of this room.
So the setup here, Andy, is the core question of whether or not the production of these flyers and organizing student protests, albeit very disruptive ones, is the grounds for a permanent U.S. resident to be deported from the United States without ever being charged with a crime. But the merits of that case not being heard just yet. Right now, they want to know which courtroom that case should be heard in. Also important to point out, while he was inside, there were about 1,000 protesters outside supporting him. So this is a very hot topic, it seems, right now. And
yeah, a very thorny jurisdiction debate that we're continuing to follow. And I did want to ask you about that, just the scene outside of the courthouse, because we did see our...
Why does this guy talk like that? He talks weird. This guy talks weird, man.
Sky Fox team high above there monitoring this. Can you give me a sense of what it looked like earlier on today? Because it appears calm right now.
Well, you saw the press conference in what we just showed you. That was on that side where those barricades are. And then there was a line of police officers that were visible facing the protesters who were on this side of the street. The 1,000 people that I described were on this side of the street. Now, out of that view, there were officers towards the Brooklyn Bridge side of this that had cut off traffic. So this was a very...
We don't care. We don't care about those protesters. F those protesters, man. It was a shooting at was shooting at the airport the other day. Oh, we got an attack on a DC police officer. Everybody sponsor the show, man. Hit the like button. Everyone smash that like button. Smash that like button. Sponsor the show. Smash the like button. Sponsor the show. Let's go.
Big story tonight at 5. The search is on for a man wanted for assaulting a police officer.
Several people already in custody at this hour, and dramatic video capturing the entire ordeal. Katie Barlow outside the D.C. courthouse with more. Katie?
Hey guys, so police say multiple suspects assaulted MPD officers yesterday afternoon around 4 o'clock in Southeast. 4 individuals have been arrested on charges related to the incident, including one arrested for felony assault on a police officer. They're all supposed to appear for their arraignment today in D.C. Superior Court. They have not yet been arraigned, but that's set for later this afternoon. Meanwhile, police are still looking for one individual wanted for assaulting an officer. We have a picture. You can go ahead and take a look. MPD still searching for this man wearing a black hoodie who was captured on surveillance footage. You can see some of the interaction that happened along Bernie Place. Police investigating this video shared on Instagram where an individual approaches an officer from the side and appears to assault the officer. It also appears the officers are using some sort of handheld spray deterrent in the interaction with multiple individuals. Now, police say the 7th District's Special Missions Unit made contact with a man who appeared to be consuming marijuana, which has been decriminalized in the district since 2015. Meanwhile, police are asking for anyone with information to call 202-727-9099. And right now, there's a $1,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest of this individual, this man that they're looking for tonight.
You've been sitting in on the arraignments this afternoon. There are 4 other men who were arrested. What's the status on that?
They haven't been arraigned yet. Arraignments were going all afternoon before Judge Eric Glover. I'm going to go back inside now, so hopefully we'll have an update for you at 6. But so far, none of them have been arraigned.
All right, Katie Barlow for us outside of the D.C. courthouse.
Jeez. It's going to beat down the cop like that in broad daylight? That's crazy. Wow. Wow. Let's see. Let's get it. Let's see. I know there was a airport shooting. There we go.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Following some breaking news, which takes us out to the windy city of Chicago. You're getting a live look outside of Chicago O'Hare Airport, a skyline shot as we're learning an altercation has led to a shooting at the airport. Fox 32 Chicago's Joni Lum. We're following the very latest there this morning. Joni, good morning to you. A lot of unanswered questions.
Good morning. Well, this would ordinarily be a very busy time here at O'Hare, but now we have a police investigation going on. It started as a fight here on this level, the baggage level, and then it spilled outside where there was gunfire. We can show you the evidence. There's a hole in that window, and it appears that the window has shattered. Also some caution tape that still remains here. Now, this shooting happened about 12:45 a.m. Central Time. A fist fight turned into this shooting. Reports of rapid gunfire were heard outside the door of Terminal 2 here at O'Hare. A source at the airport says that a flight from Houston had arrived at the airport. Someone was outside waiting to pick up a passenger, and then there was gunfire on the arrival level of O'Hare, which was shut down for about 5 hours while police were investigating. There were some witnesses who heard the gunfire from inside the hotel that is here at the airport. They said they heard rapid gunfire. We do know that one person was injured in that shooting. A 25-year-old man was shot in the lower body, has been taken to a hospital where he is stabilized, and police have one person in custody that they are questioning. Reporting live at O'Hare, I'm Joni Lum. Now back to you.
All right, Joni there with Fox 32 Chicago. Always stellar indeed.
Look at Savage. You a that boy in. Look at Savage. You a that boy in. Beat that.
Damn.
Developing now at 11, this video just in showing a fight and gunfire at O'Hare International Airport that led to one man shot. And you could hear in that clip the number of shots fired. We appreciate you being with us at 11. I'm Marisa Vedrup. Chicago police say a 25-year-old man was hit twice outside of Terminal 2. Our Darius Johnson has details on what led to that gunfire and more on the mess left behind.
Good morning. Operations are back to normal here at Chicago O'Hare.
Man, sweet as pumpkin pie, man. He's sweet as a single black mother's Kool-Aid, man. Sweeter than single mom Kool-Aid. Shout out to Beast Life 50, man. Says thanks for everything you do. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for everything you do. Supporting the channel.
Mess left behind.
Good morning. Operations are back to normal here at Chicago O'Hare Airport after that altercation led to a shooting. If you take a look behind me, you can see where crews are starting to board up that damage left behind. This incident could have been a lot worse and even more terrifying if it happened during normal hours, but fortunately, it was after midnight. Take a look at this bullet hole and shattered glass at the terminal. This is where Chicago police say an altercation led to a shooting just before 1 o'clock this morning. You can see upwards of a dozen officers lined up outside Terminal 2. They tell us a 25-year-old man was shot twice. He was taken to Lutheran General Hospital where he is expected to be okay. Inside that crime scene tape, you can see where police are canvassing around this white BMW SUV and this Lowe's Hotel bus. It's unclear if either of the two are involved. We had a chance to speak to a witness who heard it all go down.
I heard what sounded like a just rapid fire, like automatic fire. I saw people, I looked out my window, I'm in the hotel right across the way, and I saw people scattering. Now I was at a high angle, so I couldn't see very well, but I saw people just scatter both directions. And then I heard like a bunch of single shots.
Chicago police say a person of interest is being questioned at this time. It's unclear if that person is the shooter. Again, operations are back to normal here at Chicago O'Hare Airport. I'm Darius Johnson for CBS News Chicago.
Thank you, Darius.
Wow. It's one thing to fight at the airline, Spirit Airlines and all that good shit. To fight at the airport. Now these niggas are shooting at the airport. This is an escalation in behavior, man. It's like when they studied the chimps, they say this type of behavior has never been witnessed in the wild with chimps. You've never witnessed this type of behavior in the wild, man. The sons of shoot firing guns at the airport.
Want to get right to breaking news at 5 o'clock here. Skywatch over a fiery crash that is causing big traffic problems on the far south side.
The Stony Island feeder ramp is shut down to I-94 of the Bishop Ford Freeway. A Jeep fell to the road below and caught fire. It's out now, but all southbound lanes are being diverted as police investigate.
Good to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Now to new video from O'Hare Airport capturing the argument inside Terminal 2 near baggage claim that spilled out into the street, leading to a man getting shot.
Our Sabrina Franza has new details on what happened.
This boarded up window is the only sign that something happened here. Underneath this plywood, a hole from a bullet headed straight into baggage claim.
Look at Savage.
At a normally quiet Terminal 2, multiple shots fired and a massive police response. Cell phone video captured a shocking scene this morning. A group of people fighting. Then a 25-year-old.
He got his ass with that one dude. He got his ass with. He couldn't take no more. He had to get away from the fight.
And was hit twice in his lower body.
Rapid fire to begin with, many. I couldn't tell you how many.
James Van Squike was staying at a nearby hotel and saw the aftermath from his window.
People just scatter both directions. And then I heard like a bunch of single shots.
Another cell phone video shows what looks like a man on the ground. Police all around gathering evidence.
They were physically fighting in the terminal, went outside and started shooting.
Bullet casings in the street covered by evidence markers.
And when there's an incident like this, a lot of resources are going to come there. So it's not only officers who are assigned to the airport, but it'll be officers assigned to patrol in the area around the airport, outside the airport, district officers. We saw SWAT was immediately called and brought out there.
Anthony Riccio, former Chicago Police First Deputy Superintendent, explains this was likely targeted and police have ruled out any possible terrorism.
Terrorism was ruled out pretty early on when the initial officers responded to the scene, and they were told by witnesses and the victim that exactly.
It was just some niggas. It was just some nigga shit. Press 1.
Exactly how the whole incident transpired.
Some walking through Terminal 2 today, the main entry point for Air Canada and Alaska Airlines.
You know, I guess you generally think of an airport as a pretty secure area. Get me back to Canada.
The 25-year-old who was injured is expected to survive. Police did take one person in for questioning. Here at Chicago O'Hare City.
Salute to Big Larry, man. Big Larry in the building. Just some nigga shit. Nothing, you know, nothing major. Just some nigga shit.
Good evening to you both. You can see behind me a boarded up window that was shattered in this shooting. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says that his office is monitoring this incident. Workers have boarded up a window of O'Hare Airport that was shattered by a shooting outside Terminal 2.
We also want to be clear, this altercation happened outside the airport, and all of the lower level terminals are fully operational.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson addressed the shooting at an unrelated press conference.
The danger in our city, particularly around illegal guns, continues to pose a threat to the streets of Chicago.
Travelers we spoke with are stunned by the sight.
It's really shocking, really concerning.
Yeah, you got about 30 shell casings.
Earlier in the day, the bullet-pierced window caught the attention of travelers who stopped to take photos. Hotel guests across the street say they heard multiple gunshots go off.
I heard a bunch of rapid fire, and I opened up my curtain and I looked and I saw people scattering, and then I heard a bunch of individual pops. Not exactly how many for sure there was of the individual ones, but I would say half dozen to a dozen.
Chicago police say they responded to a call for service around 1 a.m. Wednesday morning when a fight broke out between multiple people outside of Terminal 2 on the street. They say shots were fired and a 25-year-old male victim sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the lower body. The victim was taken to Lutheran General Hospital, where he is listed in stable condition.
And when I woke up and seen all the cops, I was terrified.
A traveler sleeping on the floor at the time of the shooting says she was feet from where a bullet hit the window.
It's terrifying. I'm honestly just really grateful to be alive right now.
Lower level access to the Terminal 2 arrivals area was closed off as police arrived to the scene, but all traffic lanes were reopened by 5 a.m. Police say an individual was interviewed as part of the investigation, but no one is in custody.
I hope there's more security around the airport everywhere, not only in Terminal 2, but in every area of the airport.
Oh, man. It was just some nigga shit, man. Some niggas saw each other. They got into a fight with each other. Somebody pulled out a gun, shot randomly. He didn't hit somebody, but hit the fucking window and fired recklessly. And there's nothing to worry about. They're gone now. There's nothing to worry about. And everybody knows that, man. Those niggas are gone. They fled the scene. But there's nothing to worry about. Wow. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I've never been to Chicago before. I had a layover in Chicago one time when I was a kid, but we never got off the plane. Lot going on here, man. Everyone hit that like button, man. Smash that like button for a player. Smash that like button for a real nigga. Cause we gotta we're gonna get to the main event in a little bit, man. Shortly, man. Yeah, man. That's it. Let's see. Lot going on, man. Lot going on. I'm gonna get a couple people in here before we get to the main event, man.
Well, a wild scuffle at a gas station has landed 3 people behind bars. That fight was over a prom dress, and it all got caught on video. Fox 5's Kevin Stewart is live near Norcross in Gwinnett County with that video, Kevin, and the story behind it.
Yeah, Christine, I want you to take a look. You see these cameras back here at the racetrack? They caught the whole thing. This was the meeting spot off of Beaver Ruin Road. The victim here is 18 years old. She was selling the dress, and she's 5 feet, 102 pounds. That's worth noting because just take a look.
Watch this. Bargain hunting gone bad. That's the young woman selling the prom dress, tossing another young woman to the ground after several earlier struggles.
I would say it's not something we normally have to investigate. It's, an argument over a prom dress.
Now, this whole thing started going haywire when the buyer of the dress wanted to try it on right here at the gas station. So she and the seller walked inside the gas station to go inside the bathroom to try it on. But she was met by another young woman who grabbed the dress and started running.
Right here by the gas pumps.
Some kind of argument or discussion over the money involved or the payment ensued.
Here you see there's a group now, including the seller's boyfriend. He managed to get the dress back, but the gas station surveillance camera shows how this whole thing flared up, leading to the body slam.
You can see the victim there being choked from behind. The other individual had her arms around her somewhere, and I guess tight enough that she was able to still get out of it by flipping her over.
In the end, Morgan Flincham, the buyer, is charged with battery and theft by taking. Layla DeJager is charged with battery and theft by taking, and Kelly George is charged with theft by taking. All caught on video.
Hey, that's not a bad looking. That's not a bad looking group of white girls. What do you think? What do you guys think? What are we doing with that, man? What are we doing with this? What are we doing with the prom dress crew, man? What are we doing with them? These white girls, man, they've been hanging around black girls, man. It's black girls' fault. You can tell, man. You can tell they've been hanging around black girls, man. They trying to be black. Shout out to Muramasa, man. He say, when I was in Tokyo and Osaka last year, I felt so safe. No crazy, violent, or petty crimes, and everyone so respectful. Yeah, man. It's true, man. Yeah. You don't even got to go to Osaka. You just got to go to somewhere where a certain group of people aren't. In America. And it's like Happy Days, man. The TV show from the fucking 70s and shit. It's literally like Andy Griffin and shit. Just the lack of that one group changes everything. And listen, they have a cookout where you can't be invited to if you're not do the things they do. So I don't want to hear nobody saying nothing. I'm not invited to the cookout, so I'm not cool as them. They're cool. That group of people is so cool, man. I'm not invited to their little cookout, man. I'm a buster, man. So I don't want to hear anybody complaining about what we say about them. If it's true, it's true. This white girl though, these white girls, they were fighting at a gas station in public. This is a rarity, man. We never see white people in public. We know white boys got their mosh pits and their fight clubs and they in all type of wrestling and shit, and they do all that stuff, grab ass and all that stuff. Yeah, we know that. You know, white dudes like that, but this is public. This is like literally some shit where it's like your white parent might tell you to stop acting black. What do you think you are, a black kid? You're grounded. 2 weeks, no TV, no Instagram after 9 o'clock. I'm taking your phone every night at 9 o'clock.
Able to still get out of it by flipping her over.
In the end, Morgan Flincham, the buyer, is charged with battery and theft by taking. Layla DeJager is charged with battery and theft by taking. And Kelly George is charged with theft by taking. All caught on video. One reason why police recommend person-to-person sales be done in public.
We would recommend, if you're making any kind of exchange, e-commerce exchange, all of our precincts and headquarters where we're at here have some signs marked for e-commerce exchanges, and those are recorded with security video.
All right, now, police do tell me that the two young women actually used to be friends. We're running live in Gwinnett County. Kevin Stewart, Fox 5 News.
Yeah.
No shit. No shit. They used to be friends.
Information tonight on what exactly led to a 17-year-old Scotlandville High student who was gunned down in broad daylight.
Our Ethan Tuttle has been digging into this case and talked to a family member of the victim. Ethan.
Yeah, that's right. Family members, friends, and the Baton Rouge community are mourning the loss of Scotlandville High School student Anthony Robinson today. His family described him as a bright young man, an entrepreneur, engineer, and a designer. 17-year-old Anthony Robinson was returning from Scotlandville High on Monday. It was supposed to be just another normal day after coming home from school.
I saw all the police cars, and I looked to my right. I saw the young man's book sack with what appeared to be blood by it. And I asked the neighbors back there what happened, and they said a young man got shot walking home from the bus.
Robinson was gunned down in broad daylight by a 16-year-old. Hours later, the suspect would be booked into the East Baton Rouge Juvenile Detention Center after authorities pulled him over near his home in Baker. The alleged shooter faces charges of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and illegal use of weapons.
One part of the investigation that we learned, there was some prior altercation that occurred between those two individuals, and we believe that prior altercation led to this shoot.
Robinson's grandfather, Ted Field, says he was close with his grandson, who he calls Tony or TJ. They worked together doing landscaping during the summer ever since Robinson was just 12 years old. He details one of the prior altercations following a basketball game outdoors.
He pushed Tony, and Tony pushed him back, and then he barreled down on him. And when he got him on the ground, TJ just started pouncing on him. And when he did, he ended up coming back with a vengeance.
In a separate incident, a family member tells WAFB that the same 16-year-old suspect chased Robinson with a knife. They say a police report was filed for the incident. Earlier today, EBR school system released the following statement, ensuring police are actively investigating and sending prayers to the Robinson family. Fields was looking forward to seeing his grandson soon, excited to make more memories.
I was getting ready for prom. I was going to rent a car and, do the tux and be down there with him to take pictures of he and his girlfriend. And all those dreams are just faded. But, the memories that I had will carry forever and ever.
The alleged killer was brought in last night and was booked into the East Baton Rouge Juvenile Detention Center shortly after being apprehended. At this point, he's charged as a juvenile, and police have not released his name. Guys?
All right, Ethan.
Jeez. Baton Rouge, man. Fuck. Another black kid killed in a shooting.
The family of the young 7-year-old who was killed in a gang violence, Alicia Hatcher, is with them right now. You heard Sheriff T.K. Waters talking about the arrests that had been made. Alicia.
Yo, and the rapper's 5-year-old daughter died last week. Now you got a 7-year-old killed. This couple's daughter, this couple's kid, in some gang violence. Shout out to Pamela Henderson. We won't get to the main event, though. We won't get to the story soon. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody take this moment right now and hit the like button, man. Follow directions. You see that at the bottom? That ticker going across? Read that, man. And do that. Fucking kids getting killed in Blackistan all the time. All the time. Nobody cares.
What have it's been about 6 weeks, right? Can you just talk to us about what those last 6 weeks have been like?
Just up and down, every day is not a good day for me or him or our family or even our other loved ones. We all took a big hit to the chest, and it's just day by day, from here.
Anything you'd like to say to the community?
Oh yeah, thank you, because a lot of y'all came through and gave up information and knew things that I probably wouldn't have never found out, pictures, videos, messages. Everybody was on it and putting, things out there. So I thank y'all for y'all investigation as well from the community and social media and just word of mouth it makes a difference,
I know this is just the first steps into this. So any support that you need from the community or anything along those lines as you guys go through this process?
Yes, I want to keep my son's name alive. Just say his name every day, post him every day, talk about it every day. Just keep his name alive and just, be expecting things, to see things in his name, because I'm definitely going to turn this into a positive situation.
And after this arrest, what's the change that needs to be seen in the community? Obviously not justice for Breon, but there are other kids, unfortunately, who have the same kind of stuff happen in our community.
The change in the community, I can't really say what it should be, but I think that if, we all just come together and communicate better, that these type of things.
Come together and communicate better. The hell does that mean? That's her version of saying there's no solutions. She knows there's no solutions, and she's got to answer this question on the fly. So she just says something to, answer the question, and so we can move on to the next question.
I think that if, we all just come together and communicate better, that these type of things wouldn't happen. Because it's nothing that they couldn't have probably got together and had a conversation and came to some type of agreement. It should have never come to my child being gunned down behind some senseless act or not, whatever he said, she said, a petty, whatever happened, whatever started this beef or gang war, it should have never happened.
Jeez. Also, they've arrested 7 men in connection. Okay. 4 men in connection. They've arrested 4 men in connection with the killing of that little boy in Jacksonville.
Your side. We begin with breaking news.
And a busy evening here on the First Coast. We are tracking several breaking stories at this hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jeannie Blaylock.
I'm Heather Cropper. We're glad you're with us. Now, 2 of these stories involve 2 separate shootings involving Jacksonville officers, both happening within 12 hours of each other. And in each case, officers fired shots at armed suspects. In one of the cases, the suspect is dead. In the other, the officer was injured in the shooting. Tonight, we're breaking down both of these shootings on First Coast News at 5.
But first, a step toward justice for this family of the 7-year-old boy, Breon Allen, an innocent child caught in the crossfire while walking down the street in Jacksonville in January.
Tonight, 4 men are now behind bars. Zared Sykes, Keith Johnson.
God, dog. Jesus Christ. These some goddamn tribesmen, man. These are some tribesmen. Wow. That's some rugged, rough, unfiltered African DNA right there, man. God, oh, man. Jeez.
Keith Fields, and Daniel Larkins, all of them charged with second-degree murder. Our Zach Wilcox is joining us now live.
And Zach, you were there as the sheriff announced these arrests today, and you also spoke with the boys' parents.
Yeah, Jeannie, they told me it was a bit of a mix of emotions here because the past month and a half or so has really been a trying time for them ever since they lost their son. But at least now they have some answers as to what exactly happened when their son was simply walking along the sidewalk and was shot and killed.
Every day is not a good day for me. We all took a big hit to the chest.
Kashina Love says she's taken the last 6 weeks or so day by day since learning her 7-year-old son, Breon Allen, was shot and killed.
It should have never happened.
Wednesday marked a better day than most, as Love was at the sheriff's office to learn 4 men were arrested in the case.
To Breon Allen Jr.'s parents, this agency stands with you. Jacksonville stands with you. This community will not submit to brutality.
I'm surprised that they, came to a conclusion like very early in the case, because a lot of people don't get this type of justice.
Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters says the man walking with Allen, Lafayette Mango, who was injured in the shooting, was the intended target.
Our kids are supposed to bury us. When you have these clowns, these guys, doing these kind of things to members of our community, especially seeing that young baby out there like that, big problem.
Every arrest report lists each of the 4 men as known gang members.
These guys don't operate with just one target. They do this stuff continuously over and over and over again. Those 4 won't. And there's more coming, and we're going to stop those guys from being able to do that also.
Love says her focus now is to keep Breon's name alive.
Be expecting things, to see things in his name, because I'm definitely going to turn this into a positive situation.
All right, and Allen's mom told me that should any of these cases go to trial.
Why was he walking with the gang member that was targeted? Not saying that it's his fault, but I just want to know. I would just like to know, was the gang member a cousin or a brother, or what was going on there?
Trial, she intends to be there, even though it may be hard to hear some of these details because she still has some questions she needs answers to, and she.
Jeez. Jacksonville off the chain, man. We might have to come back to Jacksonville later, man.
We do want to start with that breaking news from overnight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ruben Diaz. A well-known Memphis pastor is dead after a shooting at a downtown restaurant. Memphis police responded to Mama's on Kentucky Avenue just before 1:30 this morning. When they arrived, that's when they found the man dead. Sources have confirmed that the victim is Pastor Ricky Floyd from the Pursuit of God Church. Our Scott Mattis is actually live right now where this all happened. Scott, this is a big story, impacts a lot of people in Memphis. What have you gathered, and what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's exactly right. The pastor, Ricky Floyd, of course, has influenced so many people all across the city of Memphis, specifically in Frazier, where he, of course, was a pastor and had been a pastor for so many years. But this morning around 1:30, his life was tragically cut short. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see exactly where we are. Kentucky Avenue and Crump. This, of course, is where construction starts on the Memphis side of the Mississippi River. Mama's Bar and Kitchen is where it all went down. Memphis police responded to a shooting call this morning. Like I said, just before 1:30 at the intersection of Kentucky and Crump, investigators found Floyd deceased. Now, Floyd worked extensively in violence intervention and mentoring young boys with various nonprofits in the Frazier area and all across the city of Memphis. Memphis police have arrested 42-year-old Samantha Marion, and ABC 24 News has learned and confirmed that witnesses told investigators that the suspect, Marion, and the victim, Floyd, were in a verbal argument just before the shooting happened. Now, Marion has been charged with voluntary manslaughter after this shooting. Again, back out here live at the intersection of Kentucky Avenue and Crump at Mama's Bar and Kitchen. This is where it all went down tragically, where Ricky Floyd lost his life. We are going to continue working throughout the day and have the complete story tonight on ABC 24 News at both 5 and 6 o'clock. For now, reporting off Kentucky, Scott Mattis, ABC 24 News.
ABC 24 News starts right now.
You think he made to the city? We'll start with you, Reverend Fisher.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I'm sure both Pastor Norman and myself, our condolences go out to Sheila, correct, his wife, and to the family of the Pursuit of God Church and to the people of Fraser. We knew him. I knew him as a very eclectic, unorthodox faith leader, and for the legitimate criticisms that are leveled towards the Black church for what Black pastors don't do in the community, what cannot be said of him is that he did not try to be out in the community and extend his ministry beyond Sunday morning service in the four walls of his church. And so, of course, when you get news like this on a day like this, it is earth-shattering in a sense and unsettling, but we definitely want to do what we can to honor his life, his legacy, and his love.
Thank you, Pastor Earl Fisher with Abyssinian Baptist Church, and we also have Keith Norman, who's the pastor of First Baptist Church Broad. Why don't you reflect?
I also echo that heartfelt condolence extended to the family and to the children and to Amira, his granddaughter, whom I had the opportunity to meet. He loved her. He would take her with him from place to place when he would go places. But to say that he was an enterprising as well as innovative pastor, he did not allow situations that could be overwhelming in a community and could seem to be far out of reach to go unsolved because of resources. He would look at the problem, and then he began to call in people whom he had access to and meet with them and say, here's a problem that we need to solve. He was a galvanizer of ideas and thoughts, and he never saw a situation that seemed too big. And by the power of God and the collective spirit of really getting people together and leveraging resources, he got the job done.
We have a quote from the church that we want to share with folks.
Damn, seemed like a great man. I mean, seemed like a great guy, man. Seemed like a dynamite guy, man. How do you get killed outside a nightclub, man? That is so crazy by some woman. Shout out to Murray Moss. He says, ain't Memphis the same city where they got rid of the police unit that was doing good with the gun crime? Yeah, that's the Scorpion unit. Yeah, that is that place. Yes, it is.
Home that was just released upon the news that we've been telling you about today, and that is his death is more than a loss for his family and his congregation. It is a loss for Memphis. Gun violence in our city has taken too many lives.
Other things that contribute to this. It's not just a local Memphis thing. Right. It is a state issue where we have said guns can be shared by anyone, and we made it easier to access. And then we look at this gun problem with lack of education about how to handle and store and use a gun. And then let's go even further. Conflict resolution and life management. We've taken it out of schools. And so now people feel as if I have a problem, resort to violence. The easiest thing to do is to grab a gun and then solve the problem. That's not the way. It never has been, and it never should be.
And I think that's part of the tragic irony of this. We are actually mourning the loss of someone who was using his platform, his prestige that he cultivated over the arc of his ministerial and pastoral tenure to try to respond to gun violence and now becoming victimized by it. I think it speaks to how vulnerable all of us are. And I think for far too long, we only seem to look at this when there are high-profile people like Pastor Floyd. But even Pastor Floyd was mindful of the fact that this could happen to any of us, especially as Dr. Norman was stating, when it is easier to get access to guns and drugs than it is to get access to a job that you want or a type of education that you want or some of the health care that you need. Right. These are the structures.
Blah, blah, blah. The niggas that's on the streets in Memphis shooting don't want none of that shit. They don't want none of that shit. Press 1.
First at 5 on your news leader, many in Memphis are grieving and mourning tonight after a deadly shooting. Pastor Ricky Floyd, a community leader and the pastor of Pursuit of God Church, was shot and killed outside Mama's Bar and Kitchen in South Memphis. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. The shooting happened overnight.
Continue to hit the like button, man. Continue to smash that like button for me, man. Smash the like button.
At the restaurant at Kentucky and Crump. Tonight, the woman accused of shooting Pastor Floyd, Samantha Marion, is charged with voluntary manslaughter. WREG's Raven Copeland joins us now live outside Pursuit of God Church now with the latest of what we know about what happened. Raven?
Good evening, Stephanie and Greg. Yeah, I've seen more and more clergy members gathering outside of the church, paying their respects and just comforting each other. That's pretty much been the scene all throughout this afternoon and into the evening. Now, as you mentioned, Pastor Floyd was known for his dedication and contributions to the community. Now, I spoke with the CEO and the founder of Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis about just how devastating his loss is for the community. For years, Pastor Ricky Floyd dedicated himself to preventing crime and violence in the city of Memphis. He also mentored high-risk youth in the community. Pastor Floyd collaborated with several local groups in the city, including Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis. Its founder and CEO, Liddell Beeman, tells me the late pastor also served as his mentor.
When I would walk into a room, he would say these words. He said, I felt the anointing of God in the room somewhere, and here you are. And that made me feel, I'm an individual that grew up without my father in the house with me. And so to hear another man of Pastor Floyd's caliber validate me as a man and make me feel valuable with the gifts that God had placed on the inside of me, it speaks volumes.
Beeman shares the devastation of the community. They're all mourning the loss of a church leader, mentor, and friend. But he says it's important to continue the pastor's work and legacy.
And so
they probably wondering, like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like, yo, what happened? How the fuck did you get killed outside of a nightclub? Arguing with some woman that's not your wife. And why did she feel the need to get a gun and shoot you over whatever you were arguing over?
I think it's just really important for us to celebrate his absence with the presence of our service. Doing the very things that he would do, and then some to really memorialize him daily of our service to the community as he was doing.
Now, all campus services that were scheduled at the church are canceled tonight. That's the Pursuit of God Church in Fraser. Now, we are bringing you Team 3 coverage all throughout the evening, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on this developing story. Reporting live in Fraser for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG News Channel 3.
All right. Heartbreak for many tonight, Raven.
I have video of him talking, man. This is bizarre, man. How the fuck do you just get whacked outside of a nightclub? And you a goddamn pastor? That doesn't even sound right, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Don't get me to lie.
Times never last. But y'all listen, I took 11th grade English, not one, not two, but 3 times. I took 11th grade English 3 times, 12th grade twice. I failed choir. Out of a class of 258, I was 255. And so, you know, for the longest, I allowed my inability to do good in school to be an excuse why I couldn't do good in society. But I messed around and was over my friend's house one day and read some of his dad, starts dabbling in some of his daddy books, Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do, Think and Grow Rich. And it began, oh yeah, let me add this to it as well. I remember, Summer, at about 18 years old, I remember saying, I'm going to have my last supper. I remember going to Shoney's on Covenant Pike. And I said, after that, I'm going to.
Sounds like a good dude, man. Sounds like a dynamite guy, man. We got to figure out why this guy got smoked like that. Like, he got his shit pushed back at the club. Like, what was going on, man?
First at 5.
What was going on?
Meanwhile, a Memphis pastor is killed in an overnight shooting at a bar. Pastor Ricky Floyd was a community leader who fought against violence, not just in Memphis, but the Mid-South. He often worked with young people, especially in Frazier, where he preached.
Tonight, 42-year-old Samantha Marion is under arrest and charged with voluntary manslaughter in the death of Floyd. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Floyd survived other attacks of violence in the past, including a carjacking. Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside, where they say Floyd threw a beer can.
Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Let's back this up a little bit. Everybody hit the like button, man. Shout out to Muramasa, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Sponsor the show, man. No one's talking about this, man. We the only channel in America that's covering this right now. No one's covering this. A big time pastor in Memphis was murdered outside of a nightclub last night. That's such a bizarre situation, man. Hit the like button, man. Subscribe.
Floyd survived other attacks of violence in the past, including a carjacking. Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside, where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone.
Yo. That pastor that we just saw did all that? Not Pastor Ricky. Not my Pastor Ricky. My Pastor Ricky didn't do all that. I know Pastor Ricky didn't do all that. They must be talking about another Pastor Ricky Floyd. They talking about another Pastor Floyd. All right, man. I'm gonna try to.
That's when Floyd returned. Verbal dispute with 3 customers from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's when Floyd returned. Police say when he approached the woman, she pulled out a gun. As Floyd backed off, he was shot.
There has been a steady stream of messages from city.
It's the good pastor. The good pastor, man. That type of behavior is so unbecoming of a pastor, man. That's so unbecoming of a pastor. That's so bizarre. It seemed like his outreach was trying to go upside her head. It seemed like his outreach was trying to go upside her head, not under her skirt. This is so bizarre, man. This type of behavior is so unbecoming of a pastor, man. Let's see his sermon.
Hey, hey! Come on, people of God, make a joyful noise in this place on this morning. We come to lift his name and magnify it. Hey! Hey!
Information that we're giving today, inviting other people and doing watch parties. Man, the gospel is truly going forward. Listen, I want to talk to you today about a revelation of righteousness. Matter of fact, let's go to the scripture. Romans 6:19 says, and speak after the manner of men because of the infirmities of your flesh, for as you have yielded your members servants to uncleanliness and to iniquity, even so now yield your members as servants to righteousness and holiness. Again, I want to talk to you today about revelation, how to receive the rewards of righteousness. You know, we're in the season of resurrection, Easter time right now. And I want to make it clear to you because I think a lot of people get righteousness and holiness confused. They get them mixed up. They think they're the same thing. Listen, righteousness is what we have access, the ability to tap into because of what Jesus did. Because God gave his only begotten son who came from heaven to earth to show us the way, who died, rose again. The resurrection gives us access to righteousness. If you look at that text again, it says that members, servants, righteousness unto holiness. Righteousness takes you unto holiness. Matter of fact, the NAS version of that says righteousness, which results into your sanctification. Now, here's what happens when you have people who
Violence in the past, including a carjacking. Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside, where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's when Floyd returned. Police say when he approached the woman, she pulled out a gun. As Floyd backed off, he was shot.
There has been a steady stream of messages from city leaders about the work that Floyd accomplished. Chief C.J. Davis called him a respected leader in our community, both in Memphis and beyond. And Memphis Mayor Paul Young said Pastor Floyd was a beloved leader, friend, mentor, and servant to our city. He dedicated his life to lifting up others and guiding countless souls with his wisdom. Tonight, faith leaders in communities all across the Mid-South are paying tribute to Pastor Floyd.
While services at his church were canceled, others held a celebration of his life. WREG's Tia McKenzie has more on what the community is doing to remember him.
Pastor Ricky Floyd was described as an innovator with a love for people, especially the youth.
They helped me. They guide me. They showed me the way. They showed me the way. He was a good person. He was a good person.
Members of the Pursuit of God Church in Fraser say he was more than a pastor, that he was a dedicated man with legacy and impact.
I did a whole 360 and I joined this church. I never looked back. I never looked back. I'm here every Sunday.
Terrence T.B. Boyce hosted a fireproof open gym in remembrance of the late pastor. High school boys gathered to pray, reflect, and share their testimonies.
So when we out there on this road, think about what is it that you want to become? What is it that you want to do? Who do you want to be in life? If basketball ain't it, use basketball to get where you want to be.
Here on Ridgeway Road, mentorship is the key to reducing gun violence across the city of Memphis.
I'm glad to hear that y'all believe in God. Hey man, keep your relationship with God. It ain't gonna be easy. And y'all still growing up, so y'all gonna continue to do what you need to do growing up. But listen, man, hey, it ain't nothing but a personal day.
Some say while Floyd knew the risks and dangers of trying to reach people in high crime areas, it didn't stop him from continuing the mission of spreading.
Yeah, I got that, but it wasn't. He wasn't trying to reach there when he was arguing with that woman, threw a beer can at her, and was trying to something seemed like he was trying to attack her, in front of people. This woman's probably gonna get off of this, man.
It didn't stop him from continuing the mission of spreading the gospel, and that's a legacy that will live on. Reporting for your news leader in Memphis, Tia McKenzie, WRAG News Channel 3.
A big loss to this community. Stay.
That shit is weird, man.
Shock and sadness throughout the Memphis community this noon after a shooting at a South Memphis bar leaves a well-known Memphis pastor dead. Thank you for choosing your news leader at noon. I'm Zanetta Lowe.
And I'm Todd Demers. The victim has been identified as Pastor Ricky Floyd by Memphis police. He was the pastor at the Pursuit of God Church in Fraser, who your news leader spoke with several times over the years about his faith and work in the community.
That's right. We have Team 3 coverage throughout the day about the killing of Pastor Floyd, starting with Raven Copeland, who's live right now outside the pastor's church. And Raven, I see that parking lot full. Church members have been gathering there throughout the morning.
Good afternoon, Zanetta and Todd. That's right. I've seen several clergy members comforting each other and just grieving over this unimaginable loss. Now, as you mentioned, Memphis police say Pastor Floyd was shot a little after 1 a.m. outside of Mama's Bar and Kitchen in South Memphis. Now, according to investigators, the pastor and the suspect, Samantha Marion, argued before the deadly shooting. Marion is now charged with voluntary manslaughter. As we work to find out.
Voluntary manslaughter. That's a strange charge. Voluntary manslaughter. So they don't think she murdered him. because they said he came to all the shit he did. I don't know if they're going to recount it in this story, but yeah, it doesn't seem like a murder to me. So I mean, yeah, that's I guess that's a good charge. Maybe they might even drop it too. Everyone hit the like button. Let's get to 200 likes, man. We should easily be hitting like 200 likes quick, like off the muscle within the first hour. Like in the first hour, man, we should get 200 likes, man, quickly. Like, boom, boom, boom. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just off the muscle. It should be 200 likes immediately, man. Everyone hit the like button right now, man. If you in here and you haven't hit the like button, smash the like button, man. You see they keeping the numbers down. You see they're fudging with my numbers, man. Everybody who's in here right this second, just take a second and hit the like button, please. So we can get in the algorithm, man. Try to beat the algorithm, man. We usually have like 380 people in here. It says they got it down to like 180 now. This is crazy, man. Can't get back in the algorithm, man.
Now, more information from police. The city of Memphis and Pastor Floyd's congregation are mourning. The pastor was known for his dedication to helping youth. He also advocated against gun violence in the city. Pursuit of God Church released a statement that says in part, quote, his unwavering dedication to our community and his profound impact on the lives of those he touched will be remembered and cherished. Mayor Paul Young also shared his condolences, saying, quote, his death is more than a loss for his family and the congregation. It is a loss for Memphis. Now, our Team 3 coverage continues all afternoon. We'll bring you more reaction from the city and the church. Reporting live in Frayser, for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG News Channel 3.
Okay, Raven, thank you very much. And coming up on News Channel 3 at 3, our Alex Coleman will sit down one-on-one with County Commissioner Charlie Caswell, a dear friend of Pastor Floyd's, to talk more about the life that he leaves behind.
Todd, thank you. And our Team 3 coverage continues this noon. Joining me right now with more on the life and legacy of Pastor Ricky Floyd is Dr. Keith Norman, who's pastor of First Baptist Broad. Pastor Norman, thank you so much for being with us as you are with our community during difficult times. And this is another one. Certainly hard to hear that someone who talked so much about getting folks out of gun violence and mentoring young people and young men has now become a victim himself to gun violence.
Yes. First of all, our condolences go out to his family and, of course, to his church family, and then to the broader Frayser community. Ricky was a well-beloved person, and especially among his clergy colleagues as well. Many of them have reached out this morning, and my prayers go out to them as well, because men and women who do great work in this city are often, unfortunately, a part of what happens to everyone else. And so our prayers go out to his wife, to his children, his grandchildren, people whom he loved and very, very proud of. He was always very proud.
People are saying that online on Facebook that he was cheating on his wife. There's no indication he was cheating on his wife, man. There's no indication that he knew that him and that woman were in a relationship, other than the fact that he was being very aggressive towards her.
Well, continuing our team coverage now, news of Pastor Ricky Floyd's killing spread fast throughout the city of Memphis today.
Many people who knew him are at a loss for words, especially members of his congregation at Pursuit of God Church in Frayser. And that's where ABC 24's Desmond Nugent is live tonight. Desmond, how is Floyd's church family reacting to the loss?
Richard and Pepper, it's been a very emotional day for many members here at Pastor Ricky Floyd's church. One of those members includes Shelby County Commissioner Charlie Caswell, who tells me Floyd changed his life.
I wouldn't be the man that I am
Because I was that young boy. One of them, he saved 20-some years ago. That was headed down the wrong road, but Floyd saw something in me.
Tears flowing from Shelby County Commissioner Charlie Caswell while speaking on a man he's looked up to most of his life, a man many knew fought against gun violence, Pastor Ricky Floyd.
He often say he was a gatekeeper. He really fought for this community. He didn't want anything to come in and take the legacy of somebody, the hope that we have here.
Pauline Woody is the owner of Miss D's Wings across the street from Floyd's church, Pursuit of God in Fraser. While she too is a church member, she closed her business to pay respect for what Floyd has done for the people in the area.
It's the respect out of him, even though he probably would have said, "Why you closing?" Don't close. But after the respect of him and his family and my church members and just this community, this is just a day of mourning.
Oh shit! She said community. She said it the same way. Brown Sugar said community.
But after the respect of him and his family and my church members and just this community, this is just a day of mourning.
For James Moore III, Pastor Floyd stood at his side during his lowest point. Last July, Moore completely lost his church in Midtown to an electrical fire.
Salute to 45 Revolve. He says, "Thank you for covering this up. No problem, man. We gonna cover these stories, man. Somebody gotta cover it. I want to know what was he doing at that bar? Why was he so aggressive towards that woman? He was behaving like a thug. And what's a pastor doing at a fucking nightclub at fucking wee hours of the morning? Basically, like, get in a public fight with a woman. And there's no indication that it's his mistress. Shout out to Michael, man. He says, "Do you support FBA or Tether? Y'all take the $7 challenge." Yeah, man. Yeah, support me, man. Support the Tether, man. Yeah, man.
Fire. He says Floyd's death will be felt throughout the entire faith-based community.
We're grieving as well. The Memphis pastors here, we're all grieving. This one is not a normal loss. This is a loss that of a father, a spiritual general that was, here. We stand because of him.
Shelby County Commissioner Charlie Caswell is asking for the public to uplift their church and to allow privacy for Floyd's family during this tragic loss. Live in Fraser, I'm Desmond Nugent.
I'm going to Facebook, man, because Facebook, even though it's messy, people be knowing the real over there, man. Even though it's messy. It said 1 a.m. with a married man. You would think at 1 a.m. one would think a married man would be home with his wife. Yeah. Hell yeah. And the kids. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. That's that family keep you out of trouble, man. Your family keep you out of trouble. When I first got to college, man, my advisor tried his best to set me up with a girl, a nice girl. I was too stupid to do it, though. He tried, man. He tried his best. He was like, he tried everything he could to set me up with a nice girl, man. I just wasn't, I couldn't, I was just so dumb, man. He like literally like set me up, like here she is right here. I want you to meet her. And I'd be like, I meet her, be like, I don't know, man. She ain't my type. He's a man. Listen, man. good, relationship, a woman keep you out of a lot of trouble, man. This dude, why was he out there? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This pastor. This woman says, I can't even be upset with y'all on here making jokes about my daddy. I always told him being a good man don't mean nothing. All the jobs he's gotten people, all the houses, cars, and marriages he's fixed, it don't matter because he wanted some alone time. Man, God bless y'all. I hope y'all never have to go through this. This woman says she's his fucking. This woman says she's his. Oh, wow. This is his daughter. This woman says she's his daughter. Wow, this is his daughter's page. And she's in the comment section of the people clowning him. And she said she don't. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. This is the granddaughter. They said he was always with his granddaughter. He used to take his granddaughter everywhere with him. Okay, so this must be the granddaughter, the little one. Oh, wow. Wow. This is his daughter. Oh, wow. That's crazy. She says she's in here in the comment section saying, I can't even be upset with y'all on here making jokes about my daddy. I always told him being a good man don't mean nothing. All the jobs he's gotten people, all the houses, cars, and marriages he's fixed, and it don't matter because he wanted some alone time. She said he just wanted some alone time. Then this woman says, Christina Floyd, praying for you, sweetheart. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be to please try not to look at and read these comments. Your father was an extraordinary human being, and his good works will not be forgotten. Love on your family and friends during this time. Love y'all. Dang. Wow. Someone says, Christina Floyd, please get off social media. People will say any and everything. You know your daddy was a great man, praying for your strength. Damn. So her people on here, like this one says, Pastor Rick, it says, Pastor Ricky Floyd's great works meant a lot. I remember coming to 5 a.m. prayer and talking to your mom and dad for a while after prayer had concluded. I let both of them know how amazing I thought they were. I still feel that way. Your dad will always be remembered for his tireless works and undeniable love. So crazy, man. Damn, his daughter's in the comment section. Shout out to Mac Knight. He said Thaddeus Matthews, a.k.a. the cussing pastor. Yeah, he from Memphis too. He just died. The cussing pastor just died, but he died of natural causes. Yeah. This the clubbing pastor. You got the cussing pastor died, and now the clubbing pastor died. Damn. This one says he must have said he was going to leave his wife, but was lying again. Now this one says she's his cousin. He said, "This is so sad. My cousin is gone, and y'all trying to judge him for being a great person who would help anyone anytime. No one knows what happened. So how can you just say hurtful things about a wonderful man?" Yeah, we trying to figure out what happened, cuz. We trying to figure out why he was at that club. For those of y'all that are here, that are new, that just coming in, man. That just got here, man. I want to play the events that happened to this pastor, man. Again, man. The events of what happened to him. Is it this one? Which one is it? I think it's this one.
At 5 on your news leader, many in Memphis are grieving and mourning tonight after a deadly shooting. Pastor Ricky Floyd, a community leader and the pastor of Pursuit of God Church, was shot and killed outside Mama's Bar and Kitchen in South Memphis. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. The shooting happened overnight at the restaurant at Kentucky and Crump. Tonight, the woman accused of shooting Pastor Floyd, Samantha Marion, is charged with voluntary manslaughter. WREG's Raven Copeland joins us now live outside Pursuit of God Church now with the latest of what we know about what happened. Raven?
Good evening, Stephanie and Greg. Yeah, I've seen more and more clergy members gathering outside of the church, paying their respect.
This ain't the one where they talked about like what happened, like the events, the actual events that led up to that shit.
Meanwhile, a Memphis pastor is killed in an overnight shooting at a bar and restaurant on Kentucky.
Here it is.
Marion is under arrest and charged with voluntary manslaughter.
This is the one.
Meanwhile, a Memphis pastor is killed in an overnight shooting at a bar. Pastor Ricky Floyd was a community leader who fought against violence, not just in Memphis, but the Mid-South. He often worked with young people, especially in Frazier, where he preached.
Tonight, 42-year-old Samantha Marion is under arrest and charged with voluntary manslaughter in the death of Floyd. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Floyd survived other attacks of violence in the past, including a carjacking. Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside, where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's when Floyd returned. Police say when he approached the woman, she pulled out a gun. As Floyd backed off, he was shot. Witnesses told police.
Yo, that's crazy, right? Press 1. That's bananas, right? That's bananas. For a pastor, a beloved pastor like him, a well-respected pastor like him, a married pastor like him, a man who's been on the news multiple times throughout the years for things he's done in the community. Shout out to Caleb West says, you know damn well what he was doing out there. LOL. If MLK can bang Snow Bunnies, anything is possible. Facts. But he said he got in an argument with 3 people. You got to listen very closely. I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to actively listen. Like, it's to actively listen like you got to write a fucking, like this is a reading comprehension test and you got to write a paragraph about what you heard. Listen.
Carjacking. Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's when Floyd returned. Police say when he approached the woman, she pulled out a gun. As Floyd backed off, he was shot.
There has been a...
He got in an argument with 3 people. And then they all left because the bar was closing. And then for some reason, it focused on between him and this one chick. That doesn't give me that doesn't say mistress to me, man. It might say somebody like, somebody he might have been cracking on one of the girls or trying to holler at him or one of the girls in her group. And maybe she was playing the, cock blocking or something, and they got into an argument or something. And then when she started recording this car, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm a pastor. I can't be, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go ahead and get that phone, man. I can't have this footage going all online about me arguing with this woman at a club. I got a wife." And he had probably attempted to go get the phone back from her. And that's when she shot him. This isn't saying mistress to me. The other people were her people in her group. Whatever people were her. It never says that it doesn't give me any indication that it's his mistress.
Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's when Floyd returned. Police say when he approached the woman, she pulled out a gun. As Floyd backed off, he was shot.
There has been a steady stream.
Man, I mean, I'm not hearing anything about. I'm not hearing nothing that's making me say, "Oh yeah, that's his mistress." Nothing is making me say that. Yeah, man. I mean,
immediately without media, and it's with a very heavy heart this morning that I have to speak on the fact that Pastor Ricky Floyd was killed in a shooting outside downtown Memphis yesterday. Pastor Floyd was the pastor of Pursuit of God Church in my old neighborhood, Frazier. I just went there and did a Stop the Violence rally for him. He was the host, and I was a guest speaker. And this was in November, and it's just how ironic that his life was ended to violence. My condolences to the family, and y'all please reach out if there's anything y'all need from me. But here's some pictures and some clips from that event that we had.
This is so terrible. This is so terrible. I woke up this morning to this. I am in total disbelief. I am in shock. And I'm not okay. Pastor Ricky Floyd was a very prominent figure around the community of Memphis. He was also a very close friend of Thaddeus Matthews, who recently passed and was funeralized. And he did the eulogy. And he did a wonderful job of the eulogy. And I gave God the glory. And I commended him. He acknowledged my comment on his Facebook page. And last night, he had posted something about boycotting, the idea of boycotting a lot of these artists, music artists that promote and push gun violence in our community. I told him in a comment in response to that post, I've been boycotting that, and I am in support of it. And I did add that we should also boycott a lot of these music labels that also steal from the music artists. And I was also laying in bed last night after I, commented on his post. I was thinking about contacting him to ask if he would help me with a nonprofit initiative. And I wanted to participate in a lot of the community work that he was doing. And then this morning, after I had such restless sleep, and in the spirit realm, I didn't know what was going on, but apparently this is what it was. And this morning I woke up and opened my phone to this. And I was on the phone, sitting on the toilet, as a matter of fact, talking to one of the pharmacists, trying to get one of my prescriptions filled. And the woman had put me on hold. And I had just clicked on Fox 13 Memphis's
He was obviously a well-known pastor. Yeah, she talking about taking the shit and whatnot. She talking about taking the shit. Yeah. This person says, Pastor Ricky was my friend. I am absolutely saddened by his death, and this community will suffer the loss of a great man, concerned about more than himself. However, let us take caution and not turn this sister into a villain or a demon. There are facts that most of you have not heard. I always place myself in the shoes of the accused and ask the question, what would I have done? There is a reason why she is charged with manslaughter and not murder. There's a reason why these people found themselves at that dive bar after midnight. There's a reason why they were arguing and why my friend stopped his car in the middle of the street and approached this sister after having driven off. So although the Lord knows, I wish he had never gone there and that he had been at home. We must always be willing to accept the truth, stand on truth, and acknowledge truth. So let's just pray for First Lady Floyd. She and his congregation and the many people he looked after all need prayer in this very unfortunate time. But to dog out this sister without knowing the full story is simply wrong. And that's somebody who's saying they're his friend. Yeah, I mean, this one says, I believe the key to the situation can be found in his last few Facebook posts made hours and minutes before he was shot. Oh, we got to find his Facebook then. It says, so a prominent local pastor, did I forget to mention married, is at a bar at 1 a.m. arguing with a woman, allegedly throws her phone down and a beer can, gets in his car, changes his mind, goes back to confront the woman and gets shot. And she's charged with voluntary manslaughter. Wow. This one says, so what are your thoughts after reading the affidavit of complaint? If you've had a chance to read the account of the two witnesses, it appears to me that the officer that wrote the affidavit purposefully left out some facts. However, having defended people charged with homicides over the 2 decades, I must tell you that I wish Pastor Floyd had not turned around and come back to engage the argument. He said, me too, I'm puzzled about the person getting in between, creating distance, and then the killer starts walking up with, I guess, a gun in hand. And then he starts walking backwards, but shots was still fired. Nevertheless, prayers for the family. I'm not sure she shot him and he was backing away. It didn't say he had a weapon. Wow. Pastor gets murked at a bar. That is so crazy, man. That's not something that we see all the time, man. That's not something we see all the time. This is his Facebook page right here. It said his last post. No, that's a different Ricky Floyd. That's a dummy page or something. That's not his real page. Unless they took his page down. So this is more pictures of the woman that killed him. Everyone continue to hit the like button, man. We're trying to get 200 likes, man. If you have yet to hit the like button, smash the like button right now. I'll drop the link, man. Hear what you guys got to say about this, man. I'll drop the link. See what you guys got to say.
Memphis, I see you taking a hit right now. I don't know. Not that we had this. Memphis, I see you taking a hit right now. One of I see his greatest pastors, Pastor Ricky Floyd, was murdered earlier today. And the grievance is in everybody's hearts. There's grievance in everybody's hearts. People that still love him, people that lost love for him, people that didn't know him but knew of him. It's so much grievance in our hearts because, for one, we're feeling this grievance because we're a body. The body of Christ is feeling this grievance. Two, it's a message in it. Whatever God is speaking to us, telling us, each one of us got our own message behind what we're hearing in this situation. The grievance is heavy right now. Very heavy. Everybody feel it. My condolences. I send my condolences to the Floyd family. Bless y'all, man. I wish y'all peace. I wish y'all so much peace right now. There's really no words that can explain.
What's going on, Mac Knight? What do you think, man?
Well, the first thing I want to say, brother, is the same people who are talking about her and they're grieving her. You know, I'm not talking about family members. I'm just talking about, random people. I'm sorry, back up. The same people who are grieving him, okay, not family members, not his church families. They'd be the same ones demonizing him if she had died, because no one protects black women. They're the most unprotected people
You mean
on earth, and
if she
yada yada
had
yada.
died? You mean if she
Absolutely,
had that? Yeah.
absolutely. If he'd have took that gun and did what he should have done,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all disingenuous, bro. But my professional opinion, I think she'll get off. I think it's as clean of a shoot that a female can get.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's very clean. I think even if she gets found guilty, she ain't gonna do, but she might get like 5 years or 3 to 5, or you know what I'm saying. She ain't doing no long time, even if she do get convicted of
Well, I know.
voluntary
I mean, like
manslaughter.
just the circumstances of it, man. I tell all my students, especially my female students, it's a lot easier for a female to get a not. I don't mean get away with shooting somebody, right? I'm just saying like the law is more sympathetic for them
You mean
because
it's a lot easier for someone to feel like she felt she was in danger?
absolutely yes, it's called disparity of force.
Yeah, because
Disparity of
like if I'm
force.
if I go over and I'm menacing a woman, man, I think she has every right to feel like if I get my hands on her, man, it's gonna be a trouble for her. I could definitely understand how a woman would feel that way.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. I
know?
mean, when we're talking about use of force, people are always talking about weapons, right? Weapons. He didn't have a weapon. But the thing is, disparity of force means that your physical being
You can ragdoll
has
her.
facts.
Yeah, you can just ragdoll her ass. Cause like I mean, if you think about it, man, I mean this pastor he got some nice size. He don't look like a little dude. Look like he might be about 5'11", something like that. 230, 40 pounds. Like and the way he was behaving, if they're presenting those as the facts, that was very arguing. Threw her phone on the ground. I mean, like that's
No,
very
yes,
aggressive.
that's very aggressive. That's very aggressive. And has she been charged yet, or do we know that, or what?
Yeah, she been charged with voluntary
Oh no.
manslaughter.
Oh yeah, she's getting off on that. She's getting off on that. If it ain't murder in this situation, she's definitely getting off on that easily. It's especially in fucking Memphis. Come on, in Memphis. The only reason we're having this conversation is because this guy is quote unquote a pastor, a pillar of his community, yada yada yada, bro. If he was just some big YN or some nobody, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Right. I mean, yeah. That's the. I mean, he's a big He plus he did a lot for the. Like he was a pastor that actually did things. Like from all accounts, he actually served his community.
And
That's
that's all
what's
well and
crazy.
good, but he's still a man, and most men, like you said, can ragdoll most women unarmed. It's not even a competition, bro. It's not even a
Exactly.
competition.
Exactly. And the thing that hurts him the most is he was leaving the scene, man. Then he came back.
He left the scene and then he came back. Now, someone on the news story said when she pulled the trigger, he was backing up. That is really, really debatable because you have
Yep.
to be in her head when she drew the gun, and we're talking about seconds worth. Okay, he's gone.
Yep.
Threat's over with, right? Then he comes back. Oh shit. Like, why else would he be a reasonable person would say,
Exactly.
why else
Why
would he
would
be
he be
coming back?
coming back? Does it
Back.
just apologize? No. And it doesn't even seem like they knew each other. So I wouldn't even be sure if they even knew he was a pastor. Because when they said he got in an argument with 3 customers, so he's arguing with a group. Then everybody leaves because the bar is over. And then the argument continues in the parking lot. And then I guess she's the one with the most mouth out of her group. So then now it's her and him. I don't even know if they knew each other.
Well, thanks to Thaddeus Matthews, rest in peace. I know a little bit. I've heard a little bit about Shelby County. Apparently, their government, their local law enforcement, district attorneys, judicial system is very liberal, very Bible Belt. They gotta do what they gotta do, but she's gonna get off. I mean, if she does
Yeah.
not get off, then I don't want to hear shit else about us not talking about protecting black women. I don't want to hear shit else about that.
Yeah. So she drew a firearm, struck him with lethal precision. He instantly collapsed to the pavement and died.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Good girl. Good girl.
Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure this guy never thought a second he would go out like that. I'm sure
I
he
mean,
never.
little thing about pastors, bro, they say, try Jesus, right? But those of us in the gun community say, try Jesus, don't try me.
Shit. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is a banana story, man. I'm sure I'm gonna keep following it, man. I'm gonna keep following this story, man. Because it's oh shit, we got people back here. Yeah, what's up, guys? What are y'all thoughts, man?
Yo, it was good. I had
What's cracking?
I had stepped away at the part of he was driving away and she was taking pictures of his plate, and then that's when I had got busy and I came back. But you say he came back?
Well, all I got is the facts, is what they said. Okay, this is all I got right here. This right here.
32-year-old Samantha Marion is under arrest and charged with voluntary manslaughter in the death of Floyd. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Floyd survived other attacks of violence in the past, including a carjacking. Police say he was at Mama's Bar and Restaurant on Kentucky, just a block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside, where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's
So
when
right there, he started. Right there, he started.
the woman.
Right there, he started the aggressive behavior. He threw a beer can at her. That's assault, whether it hits her or not. He threw a beer bottle at her. That is assault. He took her phone out of her
with
hand.
her phone.
That's robbery. He took her phone
Okay,
out of her
He
hand.
didn't take it. He
let me
didn't take
just
her phone though.
let me
He
just
didn't take
play.
the phone.
Let me
How'd he
just
throw it on
play.
the ground if he didn't
Hold
take it?
on. Let me just play the account all the way through,
All right, go
and
You know
ahead.
what a
then
robbery is, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
let them come.
A block from downtown last night. Witnesses told police that Floyd got into a verbal dispute with 3 customers. They all left because the bar was closing. Everyone moved outside, where they say Floyd threw a beer can at a woman and then tossed her phone on the ground. They say he drove away and the woman started to record his car with her phone. That's when Floyd returned. Police say when he approached the woman, she pulled out a gun. As Floyd backed off, he was shot.
There has been.
Okay. So I don't know any woman. I'm guessing it wasn't in her purse. I'm guessing it wasn't on the ground or the car. You physically take someone's property out of their hands. That is a robbery legally. That's a robbery. He threw a beer
No,
bottle at a
that's not a
woman.
robbery. He
That
did.
is legally a okay. All right.
He threw it on the ground. He threw the fucking phone on the ground. He wasn't
He
gonna take
took
it
the phone from
and
her.
threw
That
it
is
on
a
the ground.
robbery.
And threw it on the ground.
It doesn't matter.
It
He
does matter.
deprived. Okay. He
No, I
deprived.
mean he deprived her of her
Thank
belongings.
you.
No.
And
The other person with the intent to keep the property.
yeah, I mean it's still go. It'd be like a strong arm. It'd be like a strong arm robbery, but he didn't actually like. You know what I'm saying? He was. It was more like he definitely took it from her with force. So it is what
Yeah,
it is.
but Krug, that shit is getting tossed immediately.
I mean, I understand that because they probably was all drunk and whatever, belligerent and all this other shit. But okay, the fact that I know why he came back. I know why he came back. He came back because she was recording him. And I'm pretty sure they probably I bet you that they explained these events different. I bet you that she was recording him when he was pulling away. He came back and took the phone and threw it. I bet you that's how it went. And that's when the fucking shooting happened.
Exactly.
I bet you that's probably what happened. They probably explained it a little off. But I think that he probably
No. Speaking of off, that's what she's getting.
Hold on, man. Let he's a cop, man. Let him finish his statement, man. God
I'm a
damn,
cop
man.
too.
They
Goddamn.
both are.
Yeah,
Goddammit.
let. I'm trying to hear this shit, man.
All
Like
right,
people,
go ahead.
right,
We're saying the same shit though. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that they had the sequence of events wrong on the news because there's really no point of him coming back if he had already done all of that. You know what I'm saying? He came back and threw the phone down because she was recording his car. And he knows that he might have been drunk, but he knows he's a pillar of the community and people look up to him and all this other shit. This would have fucked his image up because he's out drunk, being belligerent and all this other stuff. And I think he took the phone, threw it, and walked away. But as he was walking away, she fired and killed him. And I don't think he can. I mean, it's a hard case to convict for a woman to not fear for her life in this situation if she explains it the right way with an attorney. But she could have already fucked up, and that's how they was able to charge her. She probably went in there and spoke without an attorney and said like he threw my phone on the ground, so I shot this motherfucker, or it was something like that. And witness was like, yeah, he threw the phone down, but he was walking back to his car when she shot him. And then she probably fucking agreed, like, yeah, he was walking back. That's how they charged her.
Now,
yeah,
hang
but
on, I'll say this.
it doesn't say that. It says
He backed up.
that
It
says that he threw her phone down and then he got inside of his vehicle,
Yeah, I
Stop
don't think they got those. I don't think they got that sequence of event right.
Why
I'm pretty
wouldn't
sure
they? You said, why you think they didn't get that right? I mean, like, what
because
makes you
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense for him to come back after he did that.
Let me tell you why he came back.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll tell you why he came back. I'm gonna tell you why he came back. When he threw the phone down, he thought it was inoperable. He thought he destroyed the phone because she was probably trying to record him arguing.
Yeah,
That
that
makes
could be it too.
sense.
That could
That
be
kind
it
of
too.
makes sense.
He gets in the car. He gets driving away. This bitch picks up the phone and she's still recording me. Then he
This
comes
gonna
back
be
to get the phone again.
yeah, it could be.
And
Could
then
be.
that's when he gets shot.
And I know he backed up when she reached in that purse and pulled out that motherfucking blick.
So we're getting into the weeds though, okay? Because for the most
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
the only thing that really matters is
He was
okay.
the aggressor.
Well, no, not that. Okay, so what is deadly force? Deadly force is force that a person uses, causing
Death
that a
or great
person
bodily
knows
harm.
or should know. Yeah, okay. So deadly force, you can only use deadly force if you are under immediate,
Immediate threat.
imminent threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is not all that shit that happened. The question is, was she under imminent threat? Would a reasonable person think she was under imminent threat when she fired? When he drove off and he came back?
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, it all depends on, how big she is and all this other shit and all the it's the
We covered
totality of the
that. This ain't
circumstances and all this.
this ain't Angel Reese, bro. We cover that, bro.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's all of that, and then how many people she had with her, and is he surrounded? It's so much shit. And we have to see video of it to really be like,
yeah.
this one looks really fucking bad.
Yo, real quick though, and not to be offensive, I hope you don't get offended, but this incident, the pastor being at a hole in the wall late at night, he's married, he gets gunned down. This is the stand in a nutshell.
Wow.
You feel me? I mean, am I wrong? I mean, where
Nah,
does it go
man.
today?
His
Nah.
daughter was in the hold on. If you didn't see the show earlier, his daughter was in the comment section. People was dogging him, saying that it was his mistress, and his daughter got hopped in the comment section and was like, "Yo, he just wanted some alone time." So what I'm thinking, when the daughter said that, I'm thinking that he may have just gone to this bar to just to have a couple drinks and
They
just
had too many.
to chill. And
It sounded like he had one too many.
And right. But then he gets into it with this group of people,
right?
And then it like it becomes between him and this woman who's in that group of people.
Yeah, and gunfire erupts.
Right, but
The
I
stand.
don't think. But everyone's saying that it's his mistress. Everyone's just assuming that this is his mistress. I don't think he knew this woman from a hole in the wall.
Yo, I would assume it would be his mistress, be due to the high emotions of a man that doesn't have a history of that type of emotional behavior. And what makes you emotional the most, especially men, love affairs,
Right.
and love triangles. So I would assume it would be somebody he knew too. But you're right. I mean, it's really no one said anything,
He sounded like he was just fucked up because again, like I said earlier, argument with several people. He's over here grabbing people's shit, throwing it. He
And
sounded like he was
motherfuckers
hammered.
recording him acting a fool, and they know, he
Right.
knows that people
His
look up to him.
reputation.
Yeah, his reputation. So he don't want to really
It's
ruin
tough.
it. But
I mean, dude
don't
crashed
know,
out.
bro.
He crashed out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
In the worst way. It's a shame, really, man.
Nah, fuck around and find out, bro. Fuck around and find out.
But if she's wrong, she's wrong, though. But I don't know that she is wrong.
She's not wrong.
Anyway.
I feel I'm telling y'all, bro. She had to have said some incriminating ass statement, or the video looks extremely bad for Shelby County to have charged her, and put through her mugshot out here like this.
Nah, bro. What I was saying is, bro, if it was anybody else, okay, Shelby County, it's highly democratic, it's highly religious, it's a star in the Bible Belt. If it was anybody but a well-known black pastor, we would not be having this conversation.
I don't know if black pastor has anything to do with it because it's a black woman. It cancels each other out. So
Mm.
I think that I'm telling y'all, bro, this video probably bad, bro. This motherfucker probably like, oh, he probably got his back turned type shit, and she lit his ass up and stood over him or some shit. This shit gotta be bad, bro.
It's got to be a weird
Why
place
would
to
it be
be,
murder?
Well, hang on.
Why would
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, he drove off, right? He drove off, and then he came back. So let's say he drove off, he came back, and then how do I know he's not gonna come back again and murk my ass now that he's got? Let's say, okay, so he
Yeah,
he
he want to go
drove
get a
off.
gun.
He drove
Yeah,
off. He came back. I drew my firearm. He started to go back towards the car. How do I know he's not going back for a gun now? He's already
Right.
come back once.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you explaining it like a perfect situation and like a controlled almost. She got some training environment. I swear to God, I bet you this video is fucking chaos and all fucked up. But we'll wait and see, man. We're gonna follow it. We're gonna follow it. I know I will.
Guaranteed chaos. It's got to be a weird congregation. In the sense that next time they meet and he's gone, and the way he left, for a community that experiences an incredible amount of gun violence, it has to be a weird place. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a weird place to be. You know?
Yeah,
Yo,
and
hey,
he's in the worst neighborhood, right? You
what is
Frazier's
this
like the
one?
worst neighborhood, right?
This is which one is it?
Frazier.
Oh yeah, I
Damn,
told you about
fuck.
this shit. Frazier is fucking horrible. Yo,
Yeah, got to be like top
Frazier,
5.
bro. Frazier don't have a grocery store, bro. That's the only place I've seen that had a food desert for real, and I agreed. Like I agree. Like these motherfuckers shop for groceries for
At the liquor
vegetables at
store.
gas stations and
At
liquor
the liquor
stores,
store.
bro. I went to a liquor store in Frazier on accident because I didn't know where the fuck to go. And them motherfuckers ran out of liquor, like good liquor. All they had was like malt.
Damn.
All they had was malt liquor.
Here we
When were
go
you
right
guys?
here.
When were you in Fraser?
This
Recently?
was like 3 years ago.
It was still dangerous. I'll be dangerous.
It feels forgotten. Several years ago, the city passed an ambitious 30-year plan called Memphis 3.0. It was the first comprehensive plan for Memphis in some 40 years. It was a big deal. They won awards for it. But our Stefan Reels found some folks in Fraser feel left out by the plan.
We were supposed to have streets like it is over there in Evergreen.
This is the concern from longtime Fraser resident Mary Martin, who came to us during our ABC 24 Let's Talk in her neighborhood. She's wondering about the cleanup, beautification, and businesses that were promised in the Memphis 3.0 plan.
And I would like to see what happened to all those plans.
Tuesday, Martin took us out to this lot, which was supposed to be a gateway into Fraser, with a shopping center, movie theater, and a family restaurant. But instead, this site sits empty, covered with trash.
They took us on a survey with the bus that they were going to start over here. You don't see a flower in no part of the expressway, which we supposed to have been done.
How does that make you feel?
We feel left out.
When asked, a City of Memphis spokesperson told ABC 24 that while there were recommendations for improvements in the area, quote, the community preferred investing in making improvements around the new library and Rodney Barber Park sites. That work is ready for construction. However, Martin and other members of the Fraser Community Association want city leaders not to forget about all of Fraser.
We always hear a lot of bad things about Fraser. The Fraser is a good community. We're surviving, but we want to be revitalized.
Was that a plantation?
That was probably the only house in Fraser that wasn't motherfucking boarded up that had abandoned cars in the front fucking
Now,
yard.
while MLGW asked for patience, already wearing thin for one Fraser family, Tequila Nelson's home went dark around 1:30 on Thursday afternoon, forcing her and her children to bundle up in blankets and sweatshirts. The family's generator finally turned on this morning, but Nelson said conditions are still challenging, frustrating even. The mother feels not enough resources are being prioritized in her area of Memphis.
This is ridiculous, and we have no help. MLGW is constantly saying they have help, but I don't see any crews out here, no tree trimming people or anything out here to help us. So I really feel like Fraser area has totally gotten neglected, as well as other areas close to Fraser.
Can we go back and look at the
all
room?
neighbor-
Can we go back and look at the room? Can we go back and look at that fucking room? Come on, man. Please. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Them motherfuckers said that it's just garbage debris. Ain't nobody cleaning up. Ain't nobody doing nothing, bro. Them white folks be cleaning up that shit, bro. Even when I was in Memphis, bro, I saw like them fucking like 9 them churches with groups and shit cleaning up over
She
there.
ain't cleaning up in her own damn house. How she talk? She's not cleaning up in her own house.
I get that.
That
G.
is
but they be talking shit
provided
about
for
like
her.
outside, like outside.
Yeah, no, they do.
But them motherfuckers, bro, they litter so much, bro.
You
like,
seen them doing it?
They throw shit as they drive. They throwing shit
Yeah,
as they walk. They
Yeah.
throwing shit
As they loiter.
period. Yeah, it's just like don't nobody else do their community like that but us, bro.
I never seen that nowhere else.
Hispanic
Caught on
communities is
camera,
no garbage,
traffic
bro.
backed up as far as you can see, while several cars blocked the road doing donuts in the middle of a Fraser neighborhood. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
I'm Greg Hurst. This incident, one of 3 happening this weekend in Memphis, that has people in the community on edge. WREG's Ashley Paul joins us now live with the very latest. And Ashley, what are you hearing out there?
Yeah, Greg and Stephanie. Well, in this incident at the intersection of Overton Crossing and James, no arrests were made. But as people who live in the neighborhood watch the video, they tell us they worry for their lives and the lives of the children who live there. Car after car spinning out, doing donuts, people hanging out the windows, and cheers from the crowd. This was the scene at the intersection of Overton Crossing and James early Sunday morning. The person who shared this video with us wants to remain anonymous, but says he was waiting at the intersection for nearly an hour until the chaos ended and he could drive through. And people we spoke with say this is a common issue here in Fraser.
I hear it often. Like I said, it does concern me.
Ebony Turnage lives on Overton Crossing with her young daughter, Harmony.
Fraser dimes, man. It's the Fraser dimes.
Oh, the redhead?
She says the reckless driving in the area worries her every day, especially as a mother with young kids.
It's a really big concern. Really big concern. You know, if somebody's crossing the street, a baby, you never know what kind of devastation you can do to a child. So just be mindful and, you know, when you just be careful.
Just this weekend alone, 3 separate incidents,
I'm sure they'll note
these
that.
types of stunts happened within 10 miles. In one of those incidents, people were injured. Right now, it's not clear if the incidents are related.
We all gotta use the road, so we gotta be respectful of each other. You can, like I say, somebody can lose their life, or you can run into somebody's car.
They say there's a time and a place, but a public road is not it.
It looks pretty dangerous. That's my reaction. It looks pretty
It
dangerous.
looks fucking retarded.
I think if you want to do something like that, you should be on a racetrack, not on the main street.
Now, Memphis police tell us they don't have any reports of incidents or injuries.
So, yeah, so Fraser's just a place where people don't pick up the trash. They don't know how to drive. They always waiting for the government to fix their problems.
They shoot their pastors.
And then you can't win for losing. Like the Gladys can fix it or not, but either way, they're gonna get shitted on.
Yeah. And it's always a lot of shootings, man. It's a shit ton of shootings, man.
I just want to know where that pastor's shield of anointing was. Like, do you think he left it at the house
Is that
before he left to go to the bar? Yeah, especially son pastors, they really like that anointed word, and they always talk about a shield.
I never heard of that concept.
Yeah, the anointing. Yeah, the anointing oil. You never seen anointing oil? They get like olive oil and they put oil on your forehead and anoint you.
I heard of getting blessed, with holy water. Is that similar?
Similar, yeah, exactly, yeah, similar.
Yeah, I'm Catholic,
Yeah,
It's just cooking grease. It's not holy water.
Yeah, he didn't have his anointing. No,
Wait,
man.
it's not actually cooking grease, right? Just for the record.
Yeah, they just wipe their finger on the inside of a KFC bucket, and they put that shit on your forehead.
The fact that they got it makes the oil. It's oil. It's whatever oil they got, right? But The fact that they got it is what makes it annoying.
So it didn't work
You know what I'm
this
saying?
time.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Maybe he rushed out. Maybe he didn't get to throw it on.
yeah.
He
Maybe he
rushed
was
out.
rushing. Yeah, he was rushing out there.
ABC 24 is committed to keeping you safe
Dumpers ain't gonna
in
do
your
it
community.
themselves,
And tonight we have an update on such a story we first told you about last month in Fraser. Valerie Wright spoke with ABC 24 in May after a car crashed into her home, destroying her and her daughter's bedroom and killing the driver. Wright, saddened by the loss of the driver and also concerned about overall safety in her neighborhood, spoke in a town hall where she demanded speed bumps, guardrails, and sky cop cameras.
Well,
Wright
Burrito's
says
out
while
there
the city
fixing it.
added temporary speed bumps and a radar, she's pushing for more improvements. That's why Wright wants to set up additional conversations with other elected leaders.
It's been slowing down some traffic, but I've come by periodically and monitor, and cars are still trying to go fast. I don't know what else to do now. It seems like I'm at a dead end with the city council and with the police department. I'm thinking about going higher up, maybe to the office of Steve Cohen or maybe the mayor.
And Wright said it was the second time a car had crashed into Wright's home in 7 years, which inspired her push with the city to get a speed bump installed. If you're interested in asking the city of Memphis to install a speed bump in your neighborhood, find out how on our website.
Big problems in Fraser, man.
Somebody gonna fuck their Hellcat up on that thing.
Fraser. Let's see. Let's see what else is going on, man. Let's see what's going on. What's cracking?
It's just crazy, how it's like always on burritos rehabbing these houses, risking their life, right? I guess these on burritos figure risk their life over here as opposed to go to Mexico and join the cartel and risk their life there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just
Ain't they trying three
living.
times as hard?
But doing what?
They tried 3 times as hard though.
Right,
Nah,
for 3 times less.
black women work 10 times as hard. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
true,
my
man.
bad.
Yo, what did somebody say here, Like, would you live in a house built by like all black women, or what was the other
Hell
one?
no.
Or like,
Wasn't it like gays or black women or something?
no, I could live in a house built by like gay men. I mean, I'm sure they'll do a good job, right? You hope. It was something else. It was something hilarious. I think it was like black men or black women or some shit.
This one right here, black women, it says, let's see,
From restoring homes to building a brighter future, Black Women Build is leading the charge to transform Baltimore's neighborhoods, one family, one block, one resource at a time.
And celebrating Black history, Miana Massey on your corner in Baltimore.
support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Shout out to Deluxe247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP. Salute to Eric S. Nation Hall of Famer coming through once again. Make sure you support the channel. Make sure you hit the like button too if you haven't. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button.
City with the story of how this powerful organization is reshaping lives and communities.
For many, home ownership feels like a distant dream.
I've always wanted to own a home. My mom was a homeowner. My grandmother is a homeowner, and that's definitely something that I wanted to be. Just never thought that would be a reality for me at this age.
Sage Diller's dreams became reality thanks to Black Women Build, an organization restoring more than 24 vacant homes in the Upton, Druid Heights, and Penn North neighborhoods.
We support Black women in their homeownership journey and also exposing them to tools and skills to learn carpentry and to maintain their homes.
Bringing light to communities often underserved.
All the homes on Edding Street, they're open floor plans. Kitchens are usually in the back.
living room here with a bathroom and 2 bedrooms upstairs.
Nestled between Edding Avenue and Pressman Street, affordable homes averaging $120,000.
That's about maybe a $600 mortgage, maybe $700. We can easily list it for a little bit more, but we want it to benefit the buyer.
And the impact doesn't end there. Since 2017, Black Women Build has been at the heart of guiding families toward generational wealth.
It's not just get the home, you're done. It's like we're there. So we have conversations about starting new businesses, paying off mortgages early, maybe buying an investment property.
Fostering a sense of pride and community.
I have neighbors that I connect with, neighbors that I talk to often and am able to share meals with and share my ideas with and let them know what I have going on and how they can support me and vice versa.
The latest venture, a community center set to provide critical resources like financial wellness classes, a tool lending library, and a tranquility garden.
We lack those kind of spaces in this area, so I think it'll be a welcome addition and hopefully a step in the right direction for other things to be added to this community as well.
The $1.5 million project is already halfway funded, set to break ground this spring.
It's so exciting to see this block transform, and in addition to the other blocks that surrounding us means a lot.
To donate and learn more about Black Women Build, head to our website at WJZ.com. I'm Yana Mass.
There you go, Black Women Build.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, if this was a reality TV show, I think I would watch it. You know, I feel like I would, just because it'd be like, I mean, how long do you think it would take them? You know, like
to build a house.
Yeah, I think it would take.
I mean, they're not really building it; they're just remodeling.
They'd be
existing
fighting
houses.
and shit. This would be like Love and Hip Hop out of like in like no
Right.
time, or like Black Ink
Yeah.
Crew or some shit.
Like the housewives or whatever the fuck. You know, I don't
They'd
watch
be
any of
fight.
that
They'd be
shit.
fucking each other husbands and shit.
Throwing champagne on each
Yeah.
other at
I don't
some
want. I don't
restaurant.
watch any of those shows, but I'm pretty sure I will watch this one. I'm curious to see how it would, turn out. Although I suspect I know.
The fact that women love those shows as entertainment shows you where women's psyches are at.
Oh, for sure. I mean, to be fair, any women crew of any demographic would be hilarious. You know?
Yeah. My wife, she enjoy that shit too. Like though watching those shows, and I always like say like that shit gonna make you fucking retarded.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. But I mean, she's not. It's not abnormal for her. People like that shit. You know what I mean? You can't. I wouldn't really judge somebody too much off of that. You know?
I think the motivation for this project has really been, for me, how to be useful, thinking about how to leave something better than I found it, and to use my skill set in order to do that. That is really Black Women Build Baltimore. What I found surprising was that, in looking at all the different award winners over the years and thinking that
Into the news, the goddamn mulatto in charge of this shit.
She
ain't no real black
going
woman.
black.
Build.
She said she black.
Yeah, she black. This is a black woman, man.
Yeah, we gotta definitely have the others fucking leading us all the time.
The gene, the blood, because a black woman, like 100% black woman, wouldn't do no shit like this and make it successful.
possibly might not fit in. And what I realize is that the award is really about innovation, sustainability, visioning, and then being able to actually complete that.
Yeah, complete it. You heard her? And actually complete that. Yeah. And they can't see nothing through to the end, man. We need that day. She probably like what 90% white.
She got a black grandparent.
There she goes.
My name is Shelley Halstead, and I'm the founder and executive director of Black Women Build Baltimore, and we are located in West Baltimore, Maryland. Black Women Build Baltimore is a home ownership and wealth building initiative. And we train Black women in carpentry, electrical, and plumbing, and we do that by restoring vacant and deteriorated houses in West Baltimore. So Black women have the least amount of wealth of any other demographic group in the United States. And so the idea really is to build that legacy of wealth through being able to buy and maintain your home. I like to say that we build community with whom you work and where
highly
you live.
educated is
So it's really
the most highly educated is the least wealthy. That's systematic racism right there.
Yep.
Nah, bro, I peeped that shit, bro. She fucking doing this shit just to meet fucking women, bro, and
Try to
carpet.
fuck. Yeah.
I'm saying, bro, she doing this shit to meet women and carpet bunch, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that motherfucker. She probably go by like Tony or some shit. That's her male name. Yeah, nah, but like
She be out here licking the plate clean.
can you imagine white women build and talking about how white women need to build wealth because they they got to get away from their conservative husbands and men and this and that and we're the least likely to own a home. Like what the fuck?
Hey, bro, I bet she'll turn every one of y'all bitch out, bro. Right now, bro. Don't even talk to her like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think she also doing it to like kind of like the whole tragic mulatto shit. Like how to give back and shit, give back to the goddamn niggas, man. And plus, she can be a star as a nigga. Like this is big time as a nigga. Like she would just be a normal white woman, but as a nigga, she's exceptional. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, she can say the months of the year backwards and shit.
really important for us to train our participants in the trades so that they not only have the skills to maintain their home, which is now their asset, but they also have the opportunity to go out and get a job in the same sort of skills that they were learning while building their home. The JMK Innovation Prize is a really great opportunity to expand the work that we're doing. We haven't had an opportunity to work in other communities, but by putting together a manual, we might be able to help others who have the same sorts of hopes and dreams for their neighborhoods. And so if more folks had a vision about who would live there, what communities would look like, I think they would stop demolishing and possibly spend that money on rehabilitating these neighborhoods.
Wow.
Oh shit! I think you did this when you was this last year around Black History when you were showcasing you went to that channel that was showcasing the black people doing all type of shit, and majority of them was like doing like clothing or something.
Yeah, what's that? Blackness, something of blackness.
Yeah. But this had popped up. This had popped up when you was doing that last year.
Yeah, a bunch of mulattoes, man. Tragic mulattoes.
Yo, I thought that shit looked familiar. Yes, I thought that shit looked familiar.
This shit wouldn't be so bad, Ak, if they weren't so destructive. You know what I mean? Like this shit is cool. I mean, you should be proud of yourself and whatnot, but it's like the destructiveness they cause.
Yeah.
Yo, if they was just proud of themselves and happy to see what they was doing, it wouldn't be no black women, nothing. It just been, this is my fucking construction company, and that's it.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, bro. They get all kinds of grants and shit for this shit, bro. Like grants out the ass for this type of work, bro. I mean, any politician, any local politician, they gonna sign off on that shit because they can get up on the podium when it's election season and say, "I did X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z."
You're watching Expressions in Black on KGW.
That's one right there. This one, Expressions in Black.
Yeah, this shit, yeah. This
sponsor
shit
presentation created by Heart and Hustle Productions.
I've realized over time that for me, that morning is the most important to just be myself.
Look, she don't even got the prognosticism, man.
Is the most important.
Look, she
Oh no, that's like a white woman, Joe.
you don't even got the prognosticism.
Important
She got the
to
forward. She got the
just be
missing frontal
myself and
lobe.
be comfortable in my space.
That's
A
like a white
lantern.
That she don't have a frontal lobe.
Yeah, it looked like her angle. She was missing the angle.
Feel like a glider to me.
To just be myself and be comfortable in my space. A lantern, the candles, it's just part of what I do. And I don't know how I started. When I could hear the birds or the rain or whatever, I wanted to be as present in that moment as possible. In order to do that, I didn't want to turn on my lights. I didn't want to let the rest of the world in yet. Having the opportunity to tell stories through clothing and something that my people are rooted in just really transformed my life. The clothes that I love is something that is really meaningful to me. I want something that when I put it on, I can embody what that is. As a homage to like our hair and our culture is really, really important to me. And bringing it into this outdoor space, which is something new, I do genuinely feel like I'm providing people with something that's really good for them. My name is Jocelyn Rice, and this is Expressions in Black. I love to read history of Black folks in the outdoors. One of the stories that I read that I love the most is the story of Joseph K. Bowler. He created this Jim Crow traveling kit. The stories of folks that you've never heard of still have to be told. It consisted of a pair of old mechanics coveralls, a little stove. He wasn't allowed in hotels and he would be sleeping out in the wilderness, so his connection is very different. There's so many great books and there's so many people that have already told stories. Why not tell them in this way? It might be Harriet Tubman's story or it might be Angela Exodus' story. It's kind of that connection to a story and answer.
Harriet Tubman would have left your ass, man. Harriet Tubman see you.
She would have held that lantern up. She would have held that lantern up. Said, "What the fuck is this white bitch doing down in here?"
Bro.
Right.
Hey, Harriet Tubman wasn't even real at this point, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you know, I've heard like, you know, that she's a woman. And she didn't do everything that they said
No,
she did.
if that whole thing was made up, it wouldn't surprise me.
I think that whole thing was made up like a folktale, like how like white folks have like fucking Bigfoot and all the other shit,
Robin Hood and shit like that.
That shit was just like told in like fucking plantation to plantations, and then like once slavery like ended, they was just like, you know what, fuck it.
There's a sister, and she done found a way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't think it was real. I never seen like a fucking her ancestry or like anybody a descendant of Harriet Tubman's talk, bro.
Well,
It just sounds like some Jew made up Hollywood bullshit to me.
You have to also think about this too. Like, there was the Underground Railroad. Okay, that was a real thing. A network of safe houses and passageways. And
I don't believe that either.
Well, I mean, that is documented. It wasn't. It was like a. It was like a.
I think it was just liberals on the way, and that's all it was.
Exactly. But I mean, it was places that that were you could make it, assisted people making it north, and there were guides and people that knew stuff, and she could have been, Harriet Tubman could have just been some woman who was a freeman, because remember there were a lot of free blacks then.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of free blacks, and people.
She could have been a free black woman. You know what I'm saying? A free black woman, who was just somebody involved in that whole thing in some way. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I don't think
why
she
the
was
fuck?
like.
Yeah, obviously she wasn't fucking walking around with a shotgun shooting motherfuckers and getting thousands of slaves free. But why the fuck with this type of shit that we can't get, like, if this is like all about blackity black, why the fuck we couldn't get dark skinned sisters like for every fucking episode at least. You know, like for clothing, like we couldn't get like a fucking Michelle Obama or some shit, or like, you know what I'm saying, like a goddamn girl from actual Baltimore that was in that other video to show that she can write on fucking overalls and fucking jumpsuits.
I think this girl is probably she probably was more exceptional than them. Like as far as like to do a story on, like she probably more interested in, like so. So tell us about how's it going. I don't know. I mean, I just be, So what you like to do? Oh well, stuff. Like if this woman is like engaging and she's, she's not black. Obviously, she's not a black woman.
Ancestry and the outdoors. The artificialness of the world has always kind of bothered me a little bit. Like just walking outside and putting my feet in the grass, really bringing it back to the very, very basics. It's just so incredibly peaceful, and it is nothing but mine in that moment. It's inside of all of us, but because we have so many other devices around and so many other things going on, like we don't pay as much of attention to it as we used to. When I was working in corporate, I couldn't get my ideas.
So she's already been in corporate America. She left corporate. Sister would never leave corporate. This is just like she's so white.
She worked she worked 10 times as hard to get to corporate America, and then she just gonna leave and shit. What the fuck?
She's gotta have her moments. She's having her moments all day and day.
Understanding the different connections I was trying to make, understanding that nature and outdoors can mean different things to different people. For me, my hair was a barrier to me getting outside.
Her hair was a barrier to her getting outside.
This is why we gotta repeal the 19th. Gotta get rid of the 19th Amendment. Bad idea. Let's just say, hey, we fucked up on that one. My bad.
Yo, she doesn't even have like coily hair. Like
she has straight hair. She has hair like just like a white woman.
Bro, she's literally every black man's dream. And she's talking about fucking.
You can't go outside because of her hair.
To make sure that I was figuring out a way to create something that had meaning in it and that was for a new purpose. So the do-rag seemed like the perfect place to do it.
So now she making stuff for black women to cover their hair up with. When she has the perfect head of hair that they would all. The irony in this is too ironic. It's like the Seinfeld episode. It's like
they don't have the self-awareness to realize what they're doing, like how this actually comes across.
Yeah, like you got nappy-headed black women, 4C black women. Hey y'all, I'm selling these things to cover up your hair because I have trouble. I can't go outside, and when it's raining because I'm a black woman too, man. So that inspired me to make this for us. And they looking at her like, great, awesome, you're so cool. This shows you how chicks could fall for that trans stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they're
conformists.
Yeah,
they fall for anything as long as they think it's gonna further, align them with the groupthink of the tribe and ensure their safety. Being trans is really, in with the mainstream. So it's like being trans is a positive. I'm gonna do it.
I think do-rags are a form of self-expression. This piece is
covering your hair up completely. And look, she got her shit out. She got a fucking
damn ponytail.
She ain't got a kink. Like she don't got like a half a kink. She ain't even got like the little, You know, like the Dominican girls, they got the like curly shit, and it's her shit just straight up. This
is more of one of the activewear pieces. The patterns, the stitching, even how you wear that piece, you can wear it 15 different ways. So if your hair is like it is right now, how
like that's all her hair. That's not even a weave. That is insane. Wow.
Like if you told me she was from fucking Iraq, I would be think, okay.
Yeah, she could be Lebanese, man.
do you like to wear it?
I usually tie it around so my puffs can show.
Oh, like how like this, and then that on the top. Yep. It has such a rich history to it. It is for us, and it's so personal to Black folks. You could wear this in the gym. You could wear it just out for a light hike. I mean, and that's the beauty of a do-rag too. It's just that it's so different depending on what you're gonna do that day. I want to see more Black women designing outdoor apparel. Like, we just don't exist there. Let's get over here to the center.
Well, we do now, thanks to you. You Black and you there.
There you go. I want a full on line. Like, I want rain jackets. I want fishing gear. Like, I want the whole thing. And Black folks can say, I purchased that from Black Earth United. Have you done this before?
Yes.
Okay, see, you know what you're doing. At the end of the day, I'm still making something that somebody's got to go out into the world in, and it matters how I'm thinking about that product. Before they get sent off to someone, just wanting to set good intention. Every piece I make, I bless it. I put in my best energy, like, because it's me making it. Give it a little good vibe. The connection to the culture is you. Like, all of those things to me really mean something.
Oh man.
The intention is very different.
Can you imagine Under Armour trying to bless every piece of clothing they sell? Holy shit.
But the hustle was exactly the same.
Yo, these people are so fucking annoying, bro.
They're crazy. And these like this is people that run stuff. You know, there's people that run all kinds of government shit that think just like this.
Yeah, these people are absolutely, positively nuts. We're talking about like that woman right there. She's a basket case, and you could never convince her of that.
I would not be surprised if she's like running something high up politically at some point.
Like, look at all these motherfuckers. These other expressions in Black women. Look at this.
You're watching Expressions in Black on KGW. This is a sponsored presentation created by Heart and Hustle Productions.
This is a book about racism, for reals, and yes, it really is for kids.
Yeah, this is the one that started it all. On a whim, back in 2018, I wrote it for my kids.
I'm proud of who I am and the color of my skin, but because of my skin color, people aren't always nice to me.
Having
So he's
holy fuck.
And he had kids with a white woman. And he wrote a book about racism.
Like it almost looks like some of these kids are not even his. So he looks like he married a single mom.
These are hers. This is hers. This is hers. These are his. I can say these are his. But this is hers. This is hers, and this is hers. Yeah, definitely. Wow. So he's peddling the racism shit to kids. These people are absolutely, positively, mentally ill and disturbed, and we have to.
No. They're diabolical. That's evil.
I mean, you couldn't convince them. He thinks he is literally like the most righteous person that walks the face of America. It's like you are out of your fucking mind.
It's just a basket case.
Oh, on a whim, back in 2018, I wrote it for my kids.
I'm proud of who I am and the color of my skin, but because
Please hit the like button. Please sponsor the show, guys. Sponsor the show, man. You don't get this nowhere else but here, man. Sponsor the show. Support the channel.
Like, how long is it before some of these basket cases are just straight up all blonde haired, blue eyed, talking about I'm fucking black? They got green eyes and red hair. I'm black.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. His kids marry a white woman, and they're probably still gonna want to be black if he's raising them with this shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're all gonna, like, his kids are gonna be like, I'm black. My dad's black. And it's like, you don't know. What is this?
and the color of my skin, but because of my skin color, people aren't always nice to me.
Having a blended family, raising white kids and black kids, they were already navigating race, culture, color, and especially the idea of racism.
So if you see someone being treated badly or looked down on because of their
Who's treating a black person bad? Like, literally, when do you see that? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I'm everywhere. I run errands. I got kids. I got to shuttle them around. I got to go places. I got a lot of responsibilities. I never see anyone treating a black person bad. Now, I do see, because of their race, I never see somebody like racially beating down a black person. Now, I do see like a black person may have a bad interaction or a bad experience at a cashier somewhere or something like that. But that's like a fucking cashier. That can happen to anybody. You know what I'm
But
saying?
is it
Like,
because they're black though, or is it because they're wilding out?
or it's just because, things happen. Like, you didn't bring that up or ring that up, or this, or shit could happen. That's a high,
Because some
risk.
men don't have conflict resolution skills, bro.
But I don't see it though. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't. Do you see it? Do you see? Hey, you ever walked in the room or been somewhere and been like, hey, wait a second, man. You're treating that black man like that in front of me. No, I'm not gonna let you say those things to that black man. I don't feel like I'm places and I gotta feel like, yo, I gotta stand up for some black guy. Because the white person is fucking with him. It's a white
Well,
person being
not
mean to him.
personally, but I mean, we've seen the videos, bro. You've done stories on this.
What are you talking about?
No, you've done multiple stories on, black people just wilding out in
No, I'm
situations
talking
where
about like where a black person is just somewhere and they're minding their business and people are just like, hey, darky, pow, smack him beside his head. Nigger, what's up, darky? Just
okay,
fucking
my
with
bad,
him.
my bad, my bad.
People
Shit
give
just
black
don't happen, bro. The closest thing that listen, bro, the closest thing that you got to that was the whole Starbucks thing. And that you see how that shit ended. That might have been the closest thing of like black people not acting ignorant as hell, but still getting kicked out because obviously they were going against the fucking the rule, whatever. The policy.
Yeah.
They didn't get anything to drink or eat. So you can't sit there. But they wasn't ignorant.
But he's teaching it he's writing children's books that this is prevalent. It's everywhere to kids who don't have the wealth of experience that we have to know that it's bullshit. He's teaching them in their formative years that it's everywhere.
Navigating race, culture, color, and especially the idea of racism.
So if you see someone being treated badly or looked down on because of their skin color, call it racism.
I wanted them to know that it was always cool to come talk to me. And that's really where this massive light bulb went off in my head to go, I think every kid maybe needs this. And not just every kid.
Look at it. Watch this.
their skin color, call it racism.
I wanted them to know that it was always cool to come talk to me. And that's really where this massive.
So he got some dark-skinned woman, pregnant black woman with an African cloth on, walking behind him while he's at his computer.
He supposed to be black too?
Yeah, he black.
Oh shit.
The imagery though, this imagery is crazy. Like, there's some crazy imagery.
Massive light bulb went off in my head to go, I think every kid maybe needs this. And not just every kid, every grown-up, every parent, to create this bridge and this connection with the kids in their lives so that they're having meaningful conversations.
We knew we needed to create a whole new, not just door, but pathway when it came to who got to tell their stories, what those stories got to be about, and who they reach.
My name is Jelani Memory, and this is Expressions in Black.
Welcome to A Kid's Company About. This is our headquarters in Portland, Oregon, and we make books, podcasts, videos, apps on challenging, empowering, and important topics.
Starting a business, we went from 0 to in 7 months, had 12 books and ready to launch. And in a lot of ways, it should not have worked.
A kid's book about money, about cancer, body image, creativity. Anxiety was a part of the first crop.
We press go on our little Shopify site and the orders start coming in. There was something about the attraction of it, the importance of it, and the obvious necessity that we should be engaging on these tough topics with the kids in our lives.
Here's a book that we've written less than 3 weeks ago. Generally, it's a 1.5 year, 2 year process to go from let's write a book to it going to the public. We're literally doing that in less than a month. I think what you have in somebody like Jelani and what we're trying to do is that we can tell our own stories.
We've done it with icons like LeVar Burton, Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas, and kids like Orion Jean, who, by the way, just won Times Kid of the Year. It's about disruption. It's about why do we have to do it the way that it's always been done. You know, I've yet to talk with the CEO of a large publisher, which I've chatted with many, who looks like me.
We can take flyers.
That's bullshit. My mom's an author. That's horse shit. I grew up and going to shit with her all the time and shit. What he just said is the horsest shit of horse shit that ever horse shat from a horse's ass. Why would he even say that though? Like, it's like
he's a pathological liar, just trying to make money and get social clout. Dudes like this, this dude was not an athlete. He did not get girls. Like, this is his thing. This is how he is cool. He's got to make it seem like he's some alpha male in some space. And this is his grift.
Breaking down barriers and shit.
He's like, I'm a motherfucking problem for some people. I do some shit ain't nobody can do. I walk up in places people wouldn't dare walk, and I say, give me that shit, cracker. Like, that's what he thinks people receive him as, and it makes him feel like he's cool. And then everybody sitting there is like, why is this white dude saying all this shit?
Right, exactly. Like it's just insane, man, that he would say that. Like, him saying that, it would almost be like saying, yeah, like music, like somebody in the music industry, like saying, yeah, man, when I go to these record labels, I never see any black people. Now listen, if he's talking about like at the tippy top, like I'm talking about like the top of the game, where it's like the people that no one ever sees. Yeah, baby, you don't see any black people up there, but no one ever sees those people. But like, there's so many black people in the printing book world that got their own shit and doing this and that and third. just disrespectful to say that, man. And it's been like that for like I remember being a kid and shit, right? My mother, she write a book, right? And she would go around to all the bookstores just in our area, all the black bookstores, like 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30, 40, whatever people show up. And she would read passages from her book, sign the books, and sell the books and whatnot. And just in our area, just in DC, it was like it was so many bookstores we would go to. You know what I'm saying? Like the black people own the bookstores, and they'd have their own printing thing. And this is the 80s. I was a little boy in the back playing under a table with some toys and shit, or dropping something, making a loud noise while she was doing her fucking presentation. You know what I'm saying? Over with a coloring book. They had to give me a coloring book and keep me busy or some shit like that. This fucker's talking about in 2024 that shit ain't that he the only black person he ever sees and shit. The fuck is he talking about? He's not even black.
Who looks like me.
We can take flyers on things that other companies may back away from, and to be able to do that with folks that look like us, that have come from where we've come from, and it just leads to new angles on topics that we think we all know that come from a completely fresh perspective.
As soon as I decided to go start this crazy kids book publishing idea around hard topics, finding talent's easy because we all walk around with these stories.
Remember when I first got to see the book, how like fired up I was? Because I'm like, damn, this is cool.
So it was my job to go find voices, and especially diverse voices, and pull these stories out of them.
I think what I realized and discovered in my journey, no matter where I went, I had to figure out how to belong.
When you belong to yourself, just as you are, with no faking or pretending, you'll always belong, no matter where you are.
I think that's a powerful thing for us to realize, that yes, we might have been writing this for kids, but it's for the kid within us all.
These people have no genuine connections with anybody. Everything's performative. Like there's no genuine laughter. There's no genuine, expression. It's all just like I think I'm supposed to act this way in this moment. Am I doing it enough? Am I selling it? Am I moving the room? It's so weird.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold it down.
So what do y'all want to talk about? Everyone wants me to talk about the Juice Crew, I'm sure.
That dude, all these people are like horrible people though.
Yeah, they're awful. They're not enjoyable to be around. You can't joke with these people. You can't actually get anywhere with them. They're so smug and high on their own bullshit that you can't connect. Like the woman earlier was talking about moments. Who thinks like that? Who wakes up in the morning and it's like, and when I'm making this cup of coffee, this is like a pivotal moment, in history. And I gotta, recognize the people that before me have made coffee and, what they were thinking when they were making coffee. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
They don't really have, most of these people, these are like artsy fartsy kids, from grade school, and none of them really have an interest in developing hard skills, like working with their hands, dealing, with like actual problems. This is they kind of create this weird niche economy where they just run their mouth and make tons of money, but they don't actually really contribute anything. It just makes everybody sort of feel good, like they're participating in, society.
Yeah, I agree for sure. There's some like alternative lifestyle shit, but it's became like in 2020. It's probably dying out now, but when this was out, this was becoming mainstream. They made a lot of money, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no telling how much money this little printing group made when they took off with this around the George Floyd thing. There's so many liberal white women, I'm sure, spent $200-$300 at a time, because these books, somebody was posting some of the prices in the chat. They're anywhere from $10 to $40 for these little, do nothing books that are a sentence per page.
Bro, what about all like the weird liberal white women that bought do-rags?
Oh, I mean, they might not buy that because they don't understand how that fits in with them. But this little shit right here, this little feel good, like little book shit, or like a calendar or some sort of, t-shirt, something. A white woman would be scared to wear a do-rag and walk around with it because she would be culturally, treading on water that's not meant for her. But little shit where she can give money and come across as neutral and an ally, they'll throw hundreds of dollars at these websites that sell this shit.
So they probably, I bet you it was like they were buying every single book available, like 2 of them at once.
Oh yeah, like I've been around some women like that. They are out of their minds, but they think that they are somehow, solving the moral dilemmas that have plagued humanity for thousands of years by throwing money at these stupid LARPers that don't actually have any sort of bandwidth to fix any real problem. Like, this guy's never had any real fucking problems. Nobody's been like, hey, black guy, get the fuck out of our store, black guy. Like, he doesn't come across in any way like anything that anybody actually has a problem with.
They're weird. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
So many grown-ups have come to me about this book and said that they loved it, that they want the adult version. And I'm like, that's the gang. This is the adult version because we're still working on our inner child, right?
I think everybody has a story, but most folks don't know how to tell it or what to say. So we are experts on talking to kids, being honest with them, talking up to them, not down to them.
Focusing on type, layout, color, and design to treat kids like they're smart. They notice good design when they see it. They don't need colorful dragons and mountains to be engaged in an interesting story.
Family are the people you give a piece of yourself to and look out for. When they hurt, you hurt. When they are happy, you are happy too.
With this job, this work, this business, I've been able to embrace the full me and be a storyteller. And now our books, our podcasts, our videos, they've gone around the globe, hundreds of thousands of copies sold, and getting to bring all these different voices together with this idea of the next generation deserves better. It's thrilling work to do. It's important work to do. And I don't think I'll ever stop doing that work.
And these are the kind of people that are getting grant money to the tunes of billions to do nothing productive. And this is why a lot of them are throwing a fit that Elon's task force is rooting out what it is, because a lot of these people have been getting lots of money from the government
Expressions
and
in
just doing
Black on
whatever the fuck they
KGW
want
is a
with it.
sponsored presentation from Heart and Hustle Productions.
Yeah, that is a good point though. That like these people are doing this on their own. Well, we think they are, but there's a whole nother ecosystem of people that are doing the same horse shit with government funded grants.
Yeah, big grants. Can I make a point about that real quick? So I was looking into some of the findings from Elon's people, and the Treasury Department, their payment processing system is called PAM. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but in that payment processor, they don't even describe each line of money what it is. So like imagine you get a receipt from the store and there's just dollar amounts on there, but nothing being stated as bought. They don't catalog any of the money about who it went to or why it went there.
Yo, so obviously my family woke as hell because we black. But anyway,
right.
They sent a group chat with the family today about how Trump is cutting the funding from the EPA, and when he cuts the EPA funding, it's stopping the funding for a study that studies the environment by the largest black-owned public housing complex in Chicago, the Altgeld Gardens, and it's like this black woman that's the lead over there, and they're studying what in the ground causes cancer, and they get millions and millions of dollars, but it's led by this black woman that has no background on science or anything like that.
See, like that's where the money goes to places like that, and it just disappears, and there's no oversight or recourse. Like, where they're handing out all this money, and they literally can't tell you who got it, when they got it, or what we gained from giving the money away.
I think
it is absolutely insane.
If you're running a scam, right, it probably is better to give it to people that are incompetent than to give it to competent people. Because if you give it to competent people, they're going to want to do something with that. If you give it to incompetent people, they're fine with you just saying, all right, we're going to take most of it and give you a little bit and shut the fuck up about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think it was just a scam all along. I think for the most part, a lot of the stuff is just straight up scams. And then the people that are dishing out the money are so stupid that they're in on it and they're getting kickbacks, that there's no point in their psyche of being like, hey, maybe we shouldn't give this group this, black chick money because she says she wants to cure cancer in the projects. Is that actually what she's doing, or is she just saying that phrase and that's enough for us?
Bro, the article was so bad. Like, it was like obviously fraud. Like, even when they was trying to spin it like to help her out, it still sounded bad. And I'm reading it, and they like, yeah, we had so many scientists working on this under the Biden administration, and the Trump administration is about to end it. My granddad died of cancer, my mom died of cancer, this and this. And I'm like, I haven't seen any result or, any like studies that show why they died of cancer. It's just, they just died of cancer and they live in the projects. But they get millions and millions of dollars, bro.
If anybody actually cured cancer, they would get shot in the back of the head 2 times. Because of the amount of money that would affect in the economy. Like if you found free energy, if you cured cancer, if you created world peace, it would crash the economy. So you have to sit there and weigh out, like, what is better, having an economy where people can afford to, you know, have some level of leisure and jobs and some dignity to their life, that they contribute something, or crashing the economy and people are all, you know, lost as to what to do with their time and whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can, like, you have to trade off. Like, is it okay that certain amount of people get cancer and we give them like some medicine that kind of helps them before they die? You know, is that's good enough? That's better than us crashing the economy by actually solving some of these problems.
All my life, I've always looked to be inspired and to inspire others. That's a privilege for me. That's who I am. I think that's something that I learned early on from my family around me and the community that raised me. I think as a Black man, I've always been super aware that examples are extremely important. I have to play my part, and I have to help us move forward as a community every day.
It's just buzzwords. It's almost as if, and shout out to Michael. He said Juice Crew owns publishing. Of course, it's DEI. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the publishing houses, yeah, Doubleday, all that stuff. They're Schumann, Schuster. Yeah, I understand that, but the last guy, he said that he just never seen Black people in those spaces, like in imprints. Black people got imprints, and you know, in fucking, you know, bookstores, and you know, independent, you know, publishing houses and independent, you know, things, and do their own stuff. And Black people everywhere in the writing world, especially mulattoes. But this guy, this didn't seem organic. Everything he said just said, who talks like this?
That's a privilege for me. That's who I am. I think that's something that I learned early on from my family around me and the community that raised me. I think as a Black man, I've always been super aware that examples are extremely important. I have to play my part, and I have to help us move forward as a community every day. I've always respected where I come from, where I'm at.
Hold on, we saw the wife right quick. You gotta catch the wife.
I have to play my part, and I have to help us move forward as a community every day.
Catch the wife.
I've always
okay, that's the daughter.
Respected.
These the kids.
Where I come from.
Oh, just missed her. God damn it, missed the wife.
Respected. Where I come from.
Ah, what? God damn, missed her.
You can slow the video down.
There she go. So here we go. He's gonna try to slide her. He was gonna try to sneak her past this, man. So this the third straight. So no, the first one was a mulatto girl. This the second mulatto with the white wife. And this is, what's this? Expressions in Black. There's nothing Black about this fucking thing, man. There's nothing Black being expressed except for crying about racism and talking about you the only person in some space, and you breaking down barriers, and you representing shit. But there's no Blackness anywhere.
It really is just like a cry for help and an identity crisis. It's not powerful. It's not prideful. It's literally like, I'm Black. Help me, please, God. Like, I don't know how, like, something's inherently wrong with me. I need help. Get me out of this. Like, it's a cry for help. It's not some power or, you know, whatever. These people never admit that, though. Like, they're getting money off of it, but, like, deep down, like, everything about them, it's like nothing about you is actually Black. These people have a real identity paradigm problem.
And it's playing out in public. It kind of reminds me of Colin Kaepernick, like how batshit crazy he was and how over the top he was. Like, he's going to fight police brutality. A lot of them, like, I kind of like gotta give him a break. Like, a lot of them, he just had the platform of the NFL to, for us to witness his mental illness. He has his little business. The first girl had her little hair do-rag business. The other guy had the book business. But within whatever platform they are, they're expressing the same batshit craziness that Colin Kaepernick is expressed on the NFL, ESPN stage that he had, Nike stage he had. And it's just scary because we let one of these be the president, and look what happened. Look what happened to race relations when one of these motherfuckers got in the White House. Look how crazy, like, he expressed his shit. He destroyed race relations in this country.
I come from, where I'm at, and I've always been aware of where I want to go. If I can't express who I am, if I can't stand up for what I believe in, I'm doing a disservice to the community. My name is Jonathan Johnson Griffin, and this is Expressions in Black. So when I was a teenager, I just always loved to draw. Always loved to create beautiful things. My mother played a really iconic role in my life. She raised me in a community center in the East End of Louisville, Kentucky. And so through that, I was always exposed to sports, art, and purpose. When I was looking back at a lot of this work, this didn't just happen, like it was building for a while. Nobody was talking about purpose work, and now it's what's fueling the brand. I think purpose storytelling for me is a relationship. It's a relationship with communities. It's not a transaction. When I got to
these are just phrases, buzz phrases in that woke world. Like, if
purpose work.
Yeah, like it's just like cliche.
Nike, I began that relationship here in Portland through mentorship that turned into a program that we started around Black History Month. Back in 2011, we really wanted to elevate the voice of our Black athletes so their stories could be told. Yeah, and it was a program based on mentorship.
That was important to elevate Black athletes more.
Yeah, especially during Black History Month.
Yeah, we really needed that.
Yeah, during Black athletes, we're
the marginalized Black athlete community.
So their stories could be told. And it was a program based on mentorship for high school students, this young generation's language of answering their call to greatness with design. Black History Month then turned into some of the other purpose programs that we now have today, whether it be equality. Equality has no boundaries until we all win, whether it be you can't stop sport. This is a message that is saying, hey, you know what? We're a sport community that's going to influence and change the world. It really started a movement.
Thank God Trump won, man. I don't know if we could have survived another 4
Yeah, I don't think we would have. I think there would have been serious talks about secession from states.
Yeah, no, it would have been definitely serious talk. Like, it would have been like the South got cut off by like fucking Kentucky and down or some shit. Like, the shit would have been bad, bro. Like,
yeah, because they pushed so far, and there was no sign with Kamala. There was who is the same mental disease that these people have. Like, she would have expressed it in her 4 years. We wouldn't have been able to survive that.
No, we wouldn't.
With LeBron and Serena and Kevin Durant and Megan Rapinoe and all these different impactful athletes
Wait, I thought this was
standing
blackity
side by
black. Why the
side,
fuck they show that
telling
bitch,
the
man?
world that equality should have no boundaries, that we should all have equal playing fields. It's a privilege for me to be able to be a part of that conversation. Elle, come here. You're too close to the camera, babe.
Hi, my name is Elle. This is Daddy, and this is.
If it's just so weird, like I'm not sitting here like acting like I'm married to Grace Jones and shit, but my wife is a black woman, and she nappy-headed black woman, black features and all that shit. She just happens to be on the lighter side. But if I was talking blackity black on this show every night, and I showed up with a white woman, I would feel self-conscious about it. These guys they don't feel no kind of way about it. They don't even feel so, they just like, yeah, they don't look, they just show, yeah, this is my wife.
I think that's the power of the privilege of pulling the black card. It's like he knows no matter how ridiculous he is, he's pulling the black race card. So it's like you can't call him out on anything. He could take a shit in his hand right now and throw it headlong into this camera lens. And if anybody said a motherfucking word about acting like a monkey, he would be like, how dare you? I'm gonna write me a book and put it on a shoe. Like he's so confident in that.
It's just so bizarre. Like, yo, you would think he would show up with like some bitch from like the Sudan, like one of those bitches from the Sudan and shit. Like just those blue black bitches. The way he's talking about how great blackness is. He went and got him a lily ass white woman that probably don't even know who fucking Wu-Tang Clan is or some shit. Or some lily white woman who
No, all he does is, not violently or nothing, but he just berates her verbally with this shit nonstop. And she eats it up like she is doing the world a service by embracing his struggle and helping him along the way.
Yeah, she probably feels like she's married to fucking Boosie and shit, Lil Boosie and shit.
Or Malcolm X or something. She's a part of history.
Definitely Martin Luther King to her, for sure.
Just insane, man.
She's literally like saving the country from dudes like me. That's what she thinks.
My sister Coco.
There's not a suit that I put on when I wake up and go to work that I change when I come home. It's the same suit.
Get that time.
That's a lie.
At the end of the day, this is what matters. This is the legacy. This is why it's important to be an example.
Where's his wife at?
We can't choose how long we're gonna.
We had a picture of her earlier, but like, where's she at now? I don't know. Maybe
Well, they can't really hype that up too much though, because it kind of like Aqua's talking about it causes it's confusing to people that are looking at this. Like, yeah, black people, right on. Look at those nappy heads. Wait, what? And then fucking Becky comes hopping in. They're like, yeah, blacks, woo! Everyone just like the record scratches, and everybody's like, hang on.
We're already suspending our reality. It's kind of like when we're watching the show, a Denzel Washington movie. Like, we've seen Denzel in so many movies. You gotta suspend reality a little bit. Like, okay, that's Denzel again, but he's this character in this movie. He's not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we're suspending our reality watching this shit. If Becky walks in, now you're asking a lot, man.
Gonna be on Earth, but the time we're here, like, we can choose what we do with it. Working from home has been an amazing time to just be able to be in a space with family. You can reflect on who I am, where I came from, where I am right now, and where I want to go. You know, literally this space that I've been working in for over a year now has been my creative playground. Actually feeds who I am. You know, when you talk about being creative, when you talk about being an example, we should absolutely bring that to work with us. When I look around and I see stories from my ancestors, artifacts from my mom, seeing these objects of past, present, and future chasers, people that are creating greatness, it just reminds me of why I'm here. You know, it reminds me of my responsibility and the example that I have to continue to put forth. You know, for me, with 2 young daughters, I see infinite possibilities. And I see this idea of the future and what it could be. If anything I took away from 2020 is that let's keep doubling down on the inspiration, because inspiration is what is going to take us to 2021, 2022, and beyond. Throughout my career, I've been able to tell a lot of stories. The thing about Nike that was really inspiring to me is that Nike was always good at telling amazing stories. And so when I got here, I wanted to be a part of that. One of the things that I did with LeBron is his first championship shoe, the LeBron 10 Corks. Whether it be designing shoes, starting mentorship programs inside of Nike, working out in the community, the journey I've been on has been an amazing one. This was actually the first shoe I worked on with Serena, and she wore the shoe at Australian Open. And as those stories started to flow, more storytelling mediums started to flow. And now we've created the Serena Design Crew program, bringing more representation, more diversity to Nike Design.
Isn't Serena with a white dude?
Truly being able to bring my full self is extremely important.
Of course, the owner of Reddit, the founder of Reddit.
Wow.
Important, because I think that is actually the value that I bring. If I'm doing it in my community and we're not having that same dialogue inside of companies, inside of boardrooms, with athletes, with allies, then we've missed. Being able to work on multiple different things to allow different voices to be heard and story told. I mean, that's why I'm still here, to be honest. I believe anything is possible because of my mother, because of my wife, because of my daughters, because of Serena Williams, because of LeBron James, because of all the people that came before me, because of the people that are standing next to me, and the people that are going to come after me. I believe that I can, as well as our community can, because there's examples. It just shows that we have so.
Okay, so he's used community, what, 10, 15 times during this piece? At least, right? The word community.
Yeah, I mean, if you took a shot every time he said it, you'd be dead by now.
So it's like, if your community is your family, and there's no one black in your family. You're a mulatto, your kids are true lottos, tri-lottos, and your wife's white.
I'm waiting on him to make it. He's talking about all this, equality and change and whatever. When's he going to make a statement about them fucking broke slave labor Asian kids making these fugly shoes, about how they deserve better treatment? And instead he's talking about how, LeBron James got to have more voice in the world. Like, what are you talking about?
IU McCoy says, these people definitely are 30% Ashkenazi. I mean, they have Jewish, don't get me wrong, they have Jewish tendencies. They're all very successful and shit like that, I guess. And they all like money, like no matter how much they talk about the black shit, headbands to, because my hair, no bitch, you're selling headbands for money. I got you. Yeah, they're money orientated. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if these people, didn't have Jewish in them. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it's possible, but they at least have like Jewish managers, Jewish publicists, stuff like that. Yeah. They got a team of people around them that are probably majority, Jews crew that identify these people for the purpose they can serve and the, global homo agenda, and then elevate them.
Yeah. Yeah. But they could just be mulattoes too, because mulattoes rise to the top of the black race. So like they could just be a mulatto. Well, that too. But
the thing about this being Nike, though, Nike has a lot of big juice crew money that controls it.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill Ackman.
So many reasons to believe.
Yeah, definitely. Nike, yeah, definitely.
And it's actually my mission to show other people that they can believe.
All right, man. Any final thoughts, guys, man? Jeez. Right. All right. Great show, man. Same black time, same black channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're new and you haven't subscribed before. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow, so you get the notification to tune in. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here.